Amazing.
Okay, we're back.
Amazing.
Let's start that again. What's happening, everybody? And welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, the podcast hosted by two of your gamers for you, the True Gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going good because the first time we did this, you nailed the intro. We haven't had any other do-overs of this.
Exactly. There
We
was no
definitely
other
didn't
problems
forget.
right there.
No, there weren't at all because, of course, this is 100% pre-recorded.
Yes, pre-recorded. This is not live at all. Not at all.
No.
Nothing like that. You cannot expect that. But
So
yeah,
we would have edited out any issues like that. Of course, today we are joined by the accused, Fizhy. You are, of course, accused of stealing my PS5. How do you plead, sir?
How do I plead? Well, I guess I plead
You heard
guilty,
it, gents
you know?
and ladies.
Look,
Guilty.
He switches.
Oh,
over
he even
to
said
the...
it.
He even switches over to the PlayStation as well. Oh god, guys!
On my Discord, it's just completely like mirrored, so it looks really weird. But on yours, it's apparently fine. Right, let's rub it in by finding some Minecraft.
Play a good game
God.
like, I don't know, AC Valhalla.
Or Astro Playroom.
Astro's Playroom,
Yeah,
much
buddy.
better, much better. By Metacritic scores, anyway, it's better anyway.
Yes.
So-
What are the Metacritic scores for it?
I think for
Pretty decent.
Valhalla it was like 80, but Astro's Playroom is like somewhere in the 90 range or something like that.
Yeah.
So much better.
And I can understand it, especially now having played a little bit of it.
What's his view product?
So before we
have
get
to
too far
download it.
into our live True Gamer podcast with
Yes.
Fizhy, the man himself, the sir himself, this podcast, along with all of our content across both of our channels, is brought to you by our amazing patrons. Our Combro patrons. Oh, I
That's right.
totally didn't forget it.
That's right.
Over on patreon.com/conversations, who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate, Carol to Rivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master, H Barts 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville, Sabine, Master Chief himself, Albie Scory, Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, and the Gamer of Gaming Shire, David Bindis. Thank you guys so much, all of you bros, for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Combroplations. Here and over where Fizhy is, not where Sheps is, however. There's no gaming
right.
going on over there. So yeah, guys, this is a live episode of the True Gamer Podcast. We're doing this just a couple days after the PS5 release. So for those of you guys that listen to on podcast services, you'll know exactly when this has happened. I myself have a PlayStation 5. Ethan himself has Sheps' PlayStation 5.
That's right.
He's stolen Sheps' PlayStation 5. We'll explain what happened with that later.
As well, it was magical. I didn't accept the money, so I took the PlayStation 5 and gave him the money.
Basically, what I tried to do was say, no, Ethan, you can't have this. This is now Sheps, and then he just took it from me. He's a thief. He was like, there you go.
Gunpoint with money.
Yeah, and Sheps has been playing a little bit of PlayStation 5 when he was here over on launch day, as you guys saw on the channel.
Yes.
We will be getting asking for questions from you guys towards like the end part of each one of the segments and whatnot, and we'll read the live chat over here. So get your questions ready, make them nice and clear in a nice like paragraph and whatnot, and we'll get those going right there. But we're going to be giving our impressions of what we've been playing so far and other little bits of gaming right there. How is everybody doing, by the way? I mean, Sheps, I don't care about you, so how are you doing, Ethan?
Of course, yeah.
How am I doing? In what sense? Am I doing all right in general? Yeah, for sure.
How's your gentleman sausage? Tell me that.
You see, it doesn't enjoy spicy sauces.
It doesn't. Okay, right.
I don't think you're supposed to put it into the spicy sauce, though.
Are you sure on that, Sheps? Do you know?
You're telling me that you've never tried
Spicy sauce, yes. I've
You
never
have
tried
not
spicy sauce
lived.
because that's on brand for me. But I mean, I know there are things that the product it is recommended that's where you put your gentleman sausage, like fleshlights, strawberry and raspberry jam, but not marmalade.
Not marmalade.
Things like that. Yeah, but not spicy sauces.
Okay. Yeah.
But how are you doing in general and gaming wise? How are you doing that?
In general, doing all right. Just plodding along. Just chilling at home. Really, not much else to do. Gaming wise, I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, our condolences.
Spider-Man Miles Morales, and that's all right.
How did you find AC Valhalla? Because you've now played it on, I presume, like the PS4, PS5, and I would guess PC.
Well, I had it on PC and PS4, but the PS4 came with a free upgrade to PS5. I
Yeah.
never opened it on PS4, so I played it on PC and PS5.
Okay,
And
okay.
you know what? I'm having a good time.
Quick question about
Okay.
the PS5 thing. Have you managed to? You can show me on your screen, seeing as it's hooked up your game capture. Have you managed to hook it, get the free upgrade through PSN, or have you just chucked it in and copied it and assumed you've got the right one?
If you signed in on the same account, it should be just fine.
See,
So if you signed in on that account, say for example, my account is this sheep boy.
Yeah.
I don't know what my profile picture is a sheep. It always has been.
Could you hit the three? Could you hit the option button on AC Valhalla, and there should be like a game version or game. Hit the option button for me
Where's the option button again?
on the controller.
Oh, that
Yeah, and then which one is it? Game version. Game version.
game version. PS5,
See,
PS4.
Motherfucker, see, I've got a glitch with mine, and a lot of people have got the glitches with this as well. I've gone on the Ubisoft subreddit to find out what's going on and how I can fix it. But when I do that, it gives me PS4 full game, AC Valhalla, and then underneath it, it's got PS4 AC Valhalla. The only thing that's different, it doesn't say full game on it. And I cannot upgrade to the PS5 version for some goddamn reason. I've uninstalled it, I've done it with the disc in, I've run the game and turned it off again, I've got my old save back, I tried deleting my old save, nothing seems to work. I really don't understand what's going on. If anyone out there knows what it might be, feel free to let me know. So far, all I've got is the standard stuff where people have Googled it and said, this is what you do. Yeah, I've done that, It's totally... It's not
that is weird.
I don't get what the issue is, and I'm not playing it again because I played it on PS4 and it was bug city, just bug after bug after bug.
It was buggy as anything, and I've been loving every second of it because every time a bug would happen, I'd record it, and I've been compiling a bug montage called Assassin's Creed Bug Halla.
Who's gonna watch a 45-minute video of Assassin's Creed bugs though? That's a lot of bugs to cover.
It's at the moment. To be fair, at the moment it's only 6 minutes long, but it's 6 minutes of pure fucking gold.
There you go.
And also, that's not every bug I've come across, just those I could find.
I'm going to retweet that video, but tag every Ashraf that is still on Twitter, regardless of who they are.
Guys can be like, who the fuck is this person?
Ubisoft, you're just gonna tag them, and they'll be like, "Man, I've nothing to do with this."
Yeah.
Wait, they're talking about.
Isak
go on.
Just said something very funny. Assassin's Creed Bug Snacks.
Wait,
which is I thought that's good. Have you actually played any of that, Ethan? Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks, is that on PlayStation?
Yes. Yeah. It's free on PS Plus right now. You can download it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna switch to the. I'm gonna switch to the good old camera for a minute. Find some fucking Bug Snacks.
Do you know what happened? Because I knew Bug Snacks was free on PSN before the PlayStation 5 came out. I bought it on my app on my phone, so it was registered to my account. And when I got the PS5,
Bug Snacks. Sorry, I found it.
There you go. When I got the PS5, I put it in, and the first thing it said, it was like, "Hey, if you've got a game disc, put it in, and we'll install it while we're doing the setup phase." And then it went, "Oh, you've also got a PS5 game registered to your account. Do you want us to download that?" And I was like, "Ah, shit! Now I have to download it. Now I have to do it."
I'm glad you did, because no joke, like we went through that first sort of intro level, right?
Bug Snacks. Right, sorry, I've opened. I can watch Bug Snacks clips.
I thought it was going to be just stupid, right? And then we start playing it, and then like the dialogue in it is surprisingly dark and funny. And I was like, this.
I was gonna say,
it's almost Pokemon.
Yeah, it is almost Pokemon. It's almost like a hint of what's that Rick and Morty, a hint of Rick and Morty, but without the bad side of it, like the swear words and stuff like that.
Right.
It's almost that strange.
So there's a lot of weird stuff for Bug Snacks, and I suspect it might sneak in as a very well-regarded game, like a very well-regarded game. I am actually going to get it and play it unironically to see what like the story and stuff is like.
I'd love to fire up Bug Snacks and just enjoy and have a great time with it.
Honestly, when you get a moment, like give it an hour or two and see what you think.
I record a video just where I say randomly Bug Snacks at different points.
Right.
That would be a video.
It's weird, man.
I'm pretty sure the moment I fire it up, I'll feel like I need to do cocaine to fully appreciate it.
It would probably be best. I would recommend it. I'd recommend cocaine. Yes, that's our
that or
official
magic
stance.
mushrooms.
Looks like they do too, to be honest. Have you seen this? Have you seen this background? The fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's pretty. It looks strange. It's almost like a mix between Fallout as well. It's really
yeah. There's like
weird.
there's that plus like the very first thing you
Also,
do is end up
notice how
going
the
to
man
some.
notice how this guy with the camera has massive teeth.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that he eats strawberries with that? No.
And
He
the very
kills
first thing you do is you go to
vampire.
some cult on an island, and like there's a dude who's unwell, and so you catch like strawberries or something for him, which are like strawberry Pokemon.
Yep.
And he eats them, and then bits of him turn into a strawberry.
You're mutilating the guy, and he's like, "Thanks, thanks."
Yeah,
Snacks.
So
Okay.
what's going
It's
on?
weird, man.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That
God.
sounds.
Everyone's talking about us doing drugs and playing this game, and Batfan saying Eddie should recommend a dealer.
What drugs do they suggest you do?
Well,
Don't do drugs, kids.
Strohut
Stay in
saying-
school.
Drugs can you do that the people who made this game didn't?
Exactly.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you have to be on super acid to even come close to this, you know.
To the bug snacks.
Just in case.
Eddie should recommend a dealer.
yeah, exactly. Just in case you guys didn't know, in case there's one person on this damn channel that's watching right now that doesn't know Ethan, he's our boy Fizhy. EJ Woodgates is just seeing right there below. His link, which I've forgotten to put in the description. Sheps, do you mind grabbing his channel link and putting it in the chat?
I'll get it.
Thanks very much.
What do you mean? It says subscribe to Fishy's channel. He desperately needs it.
Oh, sorry, did
He
I put it
does
there? Okay,
desperately
I
need
did
There's
do
a
it.
link to my desperate. Then there's a link to my channel in dire straits.
In dire straits right
In
there.
dire
What is
straits.
it? I saw
it's
250.
200. Yeah, he's got 252 subs now.
250
That's not good.
Two?
That's not good.
out of
Yeah,
200. Only
It's
252.
unfortunate. That's
It's
unfortunate.
a shame,
guys.
isn't it? I could do with. I wish I had more than 252.
Mate, you're wasting your time here on YouTube. You just haven't got it, you know? You haven't
Yeah,
got the it
that's it.
factor.
Why is that? What, there's that number, and then what does the K mean?
That's just
that-
a
I don't
glitch.
know what it means.
It's
Does
supposed
that
to.
mean karma?
No, it's supposed
that
to be
mean- I think
numbers. There's a letter random.
French. It's just French.
Crota.
It's 252 cunts. And
Come
me and
to the
Ed, me and Ed
king.
are the two.
There
We're
you
the
go.
two
That's
because we
it.
do subscribe, you know, to support our boy.
Wow.
But yeah,
That is
if you
mental.
guys want to see more of his stuff, head over there. He is a great YouTuber. He's a great friend of ours as well. He's helped us
I'm
out
a
so
peasant.
much. He is a peasant. He's a PC peasant, to be fair. That's official. But he's
Yeah.
a great guy and he does good
Doesn't
stuff.
my
so go check
PC
it out.
love to remind me of that?
Yeah.
Spent
Now-
$4,000 on me and I still go wrong. Suck me off.
Before Ben Fryer can remind me, this podcast, the Tube Gamer podcast, is around because of cyberbullying.
Yes.
The gamers over on patreon.com/conversations at the $5 and above tier, but specifically the $5 tier, the True Gamer tier, they said, if you don't make this happen, if you don't do a gaming podcast, we're going to bully you. We're going to like take your lunch money and take your pens out your pencil case and like take the, you know, pull out the biro and then put the pen back so you think you have a pen and you go to write and there's nothing in there.
Nothing.
Right? The bullying. And so those guys at the True Gamer tier over on patreon.com/conversations, which I totally remembered to say before Ben Fryer had anything to say in the chat.
Yeah, he didn't say it. I didn't see it, no.
Yeah, a big thank you to you guys. And who be they?
They be Jeremy Horde, Record Friction, Diogo, Isak Manny, Dan, Real Cinema, Catsper Coral, Sab2.
I love that so much.
There's a guy with a question mark, so we have to say it as if we're like Catsper Coral. Sab2557, Conversations is objectively better than as always, Albiscori, David Bindis, Adam the High Quality Potato, Hooded Dude, Chris Williams, Eddie, I swear to God if you burn that PS5, Ashton is not happy that Matt platinumed Odyssey, Benedict Clobbers, Adam Sunling, Batfan257, Fishy, Max H, and The Swan Swam Over the Sea, fuck that one up. The Swan swam over the sea, I
hate you so much.
Last try. Here we go. Third time's a charm. It's going to be like Leonardo. It's going to be on the fourth time. That's what it's going to be. The swan swam over the sea, swim, swan, swim. The swan swam back again, well swum, swan.
There you got
Good
it.
enough right there. Thank you, bro, so much for keeping the gaming going here on the True Gamer podcast.
I'm pretty
You
sure I
guys are
know who that
legends.
guy is, and he once pledged to me and said, just put my name on the list as Ryan. I was like, of course I will.
So
Of
why
course,
didn't
you
he
gave me that
change
option.
it?
Thanks.
He hasn't changed his name for a good 3 months now, and me and
Yeah,
Sheps
well-
are very worried. We're worried
The
that
funny
something's
thing, though,
happened.
is he probably hasn't changed it because you're still getting it wrong.
Maybe he's probably just like, shit. This is my daily dose of.
Maybe he's just dead, and
See,
right now you're rinsing the bank
we-
account of a deceased man.
we didn't want to
Perfect.
say it
It
that
wouldn't
way.
be the first time.
We didn't
Oh,
want to
God.
say it that
What
way.
does that mean?
But you went and said it. We was totally fine taking the money of a person who's completely not
Okay.
with us anymore. We didn't want to say it, but you said it now, and now we're bad. Now we're terrible people.
I mean, we're YouTubers. We'll drain a person's family estate down to the ground if it means that we don't have to go back to a regular 9 to 5.
could you imagine if like they
You say that while doing a regular 9 to 5.
I know.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, guys, thank you all for supporting us. And if anyone wants to support us, feel free to head down in the description. You can see all our links to our Patreon, our Discord server as well. If you want to hang out there, it's a great place to hang out and be with a couple of gamers. Also, this month in this corner, you can see I put it really far away as to hide all the details. On camera, you guys can see the Combroplations PS4 game cover. That's available for this month if you subscribe at the True Gamer Plus tier. And I sent out all of the ones that people have already paid for this month already yesterday. So you guys should be getting that very, very soon. And yeah, look forward to that, guys. Look forward to
They're
that.
actually sick.
Sick.
They are actually sick.
We've
I'm
What
not
are
so
these?
glad.
The
These are
Combros,
the
the Combroplations covers?
Yeah.
I've heard fables about these. That sounds like a good time.
It is actually really fun.
Did you get them professionally printed as game covers? Like,
Yes.
how much,
It's a real
if you don't
game
mind me
cover.
asking, how much did that set you back?
It was like
Ah.
based on like a, you know, if you get more, they're cheaper and whatnot. And we had to work
Yeah.
out like, okay, we're gonna go in for the
So
lower
it
amount.
doesn't work out as a set price per unit, but rather if you do more.
Exactly. It's not too expensive.
Exactly.
It's not too expensive, but with shipping and everything per person, it works out to like $7. So if you wanted to ever make one for yourself, it's dead cheap to do it.
I could, but I don't know what I'd do with it.
Exactly.
Well, you're
This
going to
one-
get some
What
inspiration.
do I do? Just get that picture of me with the stick in front of a fire. engine.
Yes,
There
we
you
want
go.
Yes.
it. We want it. Assassin's Creed London. There you go. That's what it is.
Assassin's
Sorry,
Creed.
Assassin's Creed
Just-
Manchester. Sorry, no, London
But
is where we are.
but Assassin's Creed must side, and just that. Okay, we could do that. You know, I mean, I'll have to see. Do you have to design like the entire dimensions thing yourself?
Yeah, you have to
Or
do
is
it
there
all
design on the
yourself.
site?
You have to do it all yourself.
So you have to get the dimensions right yourself.
There is a on DeviantArt. I found a template and
A
whatnot.
template.
I put that all together and that
Yeah,
was
no,
good.
that sounds like fun. Assassin's Creed must side.
Do it.
Oh
do it.
God,
You could.
there are some things that even I should not do.
I mean, you'll see when these things, when they finally get released and will actually show what people missed out on, the people that
Yeah.
didn't
Thing is,
get it.
though, I
Don't
can
be one
ne-
of those people.
Thing is, though, I could never like give that to people. I'd have to just have like one copy of it and stick it somewhere where only I know where it is, and then have
Well,
people be very
made it-
confused.
We put it behind a paywall. We were like, look, if you want this garbage, you got to pay extra money for it. And we charged them shipping. Actually, I don't.
Nah,
think we did
man, we've
that,
got a
but-
charity event coming up in December. If I can get them to arrive by then, I'll give them to everybody for free.
That
By
is
everybody, I
a-
mean as many as I can acquire.
That is a good point, and that's something that I've put down in my housekeeping notes just here. We do have a charity event coming up, all three of us right here, with a couple of other losers. I don't know who they are. Which is Gamers Against Cancer, we're calling it, which is a big charity event over 4 days, December 4th to December 4th to December 8th, was it? December 7th?
It's in December, early part of December.
Early December, we'll get
The
those
really
details out to you,
important
okay?
thing
4th to
is
7th.
4th
the
to
4th to the
7th, right.
7th. We set this pretty lofty goal of 15K, right? For this 3-day event between 6 of
Four-day
us.
event.
4-day event. 4-day event between 6 of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's already at over $1,000.
Let me just give a little bit more information before we go into anything else. It's a charity event to help raise awareness and money for breast cancer, something that's near and dear to quite a few of us here, specifically our boy here, Ethan. And hopefully we can do something good. The only thing that we do here online is entertain people, play some games, enjoy our lives as well. Hopefully we can channel that energy and channel that entertainment into something amazing and raise a lot of money for people. Yeah. As Shep said, so far we've already gone over £1,000 and we haven't even done anything. That's the power of gaming right here.
Yeah.
And hopefully when we get to the day, we can smash that goal of 15.
We can go and read some messages from there if you want. There's some beautiful things on here.
Yeah, you got them up in front of you. You can read a couple.
I can go right down to the very bottom and see all the messages if you want to review.
Yeah,
okay.
Go on, give a few.
Okay, we've got Jake Ryan, great cause, lads. Adam Sundling for a great cause. Just Notter, boys, let's smash this goal.
Yeah.
Yes,
Ashley Smith, thank you for this, guys. Keep up the amazing work. You'll smash it. Alex Winfield, for a community that has given me so much. I need to stop mocking them. I'm reading them in a mocking tone.
No, it's all right. It's all right. That's a reading tone.
Cause, lads, this is a cause close to my heart, so I'd like to help as much as I can. I hope you smash the goal. Anthony Vastola, Flash Paradox. So proud of this community and you guys. Then we've got Adam, Oliver Scory, James Rostron. Katie said, let's do it for the gamers. Nathan Short, such a great cause. Good luck. Zach Gamer, that's an interesting surname. This one's for you.
It's almost Zack
JMC.
Snyder.
I'm so proud of this community. Let's do this, gamers. Annika Ewan, thank you so much for raising awareness and doing this fundraising. I cannot even tell you how thankful I am. Lots of love from Germany. Jack O'Regan. Hopefully this little bit helps out this great cause, and I hope to come back and donate even more very soon. Lovely. Assassin, big gaming and fighting cancer. I love that. And then we've got Natalie Shaw, founded Scarab, Paul Herring. Let's keep the money coming, gamers. Liam Booth, Raj donated fucking 500 quid. What an absolute legend. It makes me happy to play a small part in this and see a community get behind it. Let's smash that goal, boys. Billy Granger, so proud to be a part of such an incredible event, and I'm so grateful that I can stand with you gamers. What a message, what a community. Love to all. Then we've got Luke Nunn, Christian Rowe, Ben Burnham. James C said, I've seen the effects of cancer firsthand and know how horrible it is. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to donate to this worthy cause. Then we've got Saeed Zahir, Jamie Derbyshire, Patricia Cools, who said, hi, Ethan, I'm a friend of your dad, and we haven't met in person yet. But my mum is a breast cancer survivor too. Appreciate you doing this, Trish. Lovely. Then we've got Haley Brains and Harish Kular. Lovely, generous people.
Amazing people, really. We appreciate every single one of you guys there, no matter what the donation size, and all the people as well that have been retweeting. Don't think we haven't been seeing it. Everyone's using the hashtag Gamers Against Cancer, and it's going everywhere. We love it. And I actually do believe, with the size of the audience that, let's be honest, you guys have, it's going to be one of the things that is trending on Twitter. I can feel it. And if we can get it, we can get it to many people who obviously are good with like this cause, then it'll be great.
There are also a few names on there of people I went to school with, and that was like, oh, okay. You know,
that's cool. That's cool.
There's a couple of them.
It's cool as well that like we recognize a lot of these names, and a fair few of these people like we met through YouTube. Like, it's when people say, oh, I'm so proud of this community, it's not like clutching at straws. It's actually a community. We met like 50 people at the meetup. Me and Ed met maybe 6 dudes or something at EGX when we went in 2019.
6 dudes? You've met 6? How did that happen? How did they know you? Did they know you were there?
Yeah.
Yes.
What
do you mean how that happened? Do you know who we are? We're a big deal.
I've never had somebody stop me in public, no matter how relevant it is to what I do, and be like, is that Fishy?
All we did.
Do you want to know why? Because I just have one of those faces that blends into anything. Nobody can tell it's actually me. It's great.
All we did was we just randomly tweeted out, hey, we might be going to EGX, and that was it. And then suddenly we was flooded by people because we're so famous.
That's it.
I went to EGX. I think it was 2 years ago. Nobody, no fucker. Nobody's noticed me. That's fine.
Did you?
I even had a Fishy hoodie on with my logo on it, like an egotistical little bastard. Played some Assassin's Creed Odyssey and left.
That was a day well spent. That was a day well spent, wasn't it?
No.
Just
Never again. It was miserable.
Just before we go on too far into this podcast, we should get into some of the main topic of the show. When people click on it, they're like, "Oh yeah, early impressions of the PS5." Oh crap, this is 45 minutes later, and they still haven't spoken about it.
We're still talking about EGX and cancer.
That's what they're talking about. But anyway, we will be doing that event, and we'll get more details out to you. The closer we get to the time, you'll see that everywhere because we'll be flooding social media with it. But also, it'll be all on our videos. Check back soon for that. A quick couple of other things to mention. One, our boy Top Row Ben on PSN, his name is Ender8187PS for some reason. He's made a PS5 group for the Conversations lads. So if you want to join the Conversations community on PS5 and stuff like that, add him on PSN, DM him, and he can get you into our group. I should mention that just because he's made it and he's put a lot of effort into it. It's really cool stuff. Go do that. And we are 18 days away from Cyberpunk 2077. Everyone get hyped. There's no delay from here on out, boys. I'm telling you, you can take that to the bank. Take that as an Eddie guarantee. Stamp it.
I'd love for you to be right, but I just don't trust CD Projekt Red and release.
I'm telling you, just stamp it.
I don't trust them until after it's released, and then even then, I'm like, they can still.
Talking of not trusting CDPR,
yes.
They put out maybe like 8 weeks ago, the PC specs for the game.
They updated it to be,
and then they changed it.
On you actually do need ridiculous specs.
Yeah,
is what it says.
I love when they said that because we said it at the last Night City Wire event as well. People were saying the PC specs, and I was like, that was really low. I think they were being generous, or they were trying to be like, maybe we can include everyone. And then they go and release this, and it's just completely different. To be fair, I'm not the PC guy, so I don't know. I'm not a peasant.
Would you like me to talk you through what's said?
Please do. Please do. Let me know.
Okay, here we are. Okay, so let's find what.
Just to be clear, in summary, it looks like they did this. They were true to what the game needs now for PC, but then decided, no, your original Xbox One, it'll be able to run it.
Right.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it.
But for PC, they were like, nah, you a fucking peasant. You need this. You need a beast rig, and it needs water cooling, or you ain't playing it on PC.
By the looks of it, this
Go buy an
is
Xbox
to
One.
account more so for the for new generation graphics cards and stuff, rather than any in-house change. So the game will still perform the same on the specs they might have listed before, but this is just to account for ray tracing and ray tracing technology and how far that's going forward. Hence why you've got your blues, and these blues are basically more or less the same as what was said last time a few weeks back, about 2 months ago. Sorry. On top of that, though, now they're actually mentioning the new RTX 30 series cards, or is it the RX 6000s or something like that?
It does have the RX 6000, but the problem is that I don't think they're going to have a ray tracing support for that card, at least at launch.
They should. I don't think they would. No, but you know what I mean.
It's only in the ultra setting for the normal non-RT section.
No, it's pretty clean cut, because then you have ray tracing minimum, ray tracing high, ray tracing ultra. Yeah. So for ray tracing minimum, you need an RTX 2060, which is a mid-range card from the 20s series, which is it's pretty good. And then and then again, you have ray tracing high, which is RTX 3070, mid-range, this new series thing going on. People could come to you and say 2060 is more of a low-end thing if they want to, but there's no such thing as a low-end. There's no such thing as a low-end. There's just mid-range and old in the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you've got ray tracing ultra. Now, this is the only real thing that actually matters is the graphics card again. It recommends an RTX 3080. Yeah. And to be fair, this isn't so bad considering these graphics cards are cheaper than your RTX 2080 and your RTX 2080 Ti. Yeah. So you get more bang for your buck. So what it's saying is, if you're putting together a PC now, you get the cheaper option because it's A, newer, and B, better. But that's all that really matters there. Otherwise, it's mostly the
3080.
Sorry.
How much is the 30? It's £900.
It's £900.
It's 649's the MSRP, but the problem is you can't get the MSRP price anymore. It's just sold out, and they're not making them. And all the third-party cards, they're between £700 and £900.
Yeah, no, but that's still worked out cheaper than what the RTX 2080 and 2080 Ti were.
100%. They're like £1,200, £1,500 cards.
Yeah, no, but it's still not as pretty as it was when it was just when the cards had just dropped. And now that they're sold out, it depends on where you get them from, and the cards that are made by third parties and stuff. Of course, they're gonna be a bit through the roof as well. So yeah, that window's gone, but you're still looking at a better deal than a 2080 Ti.
Do you know what's an even better deal than that though?
Exactly.
Just buy an original PS4 or Xbox One and you're fine.
Exactly, you're fine. You'll play this game great. Don't worry about it, guys.
Right.
We've seen the video. We've seen the gameplay.
You say that, and then you fire up a PS4 and try to play this game.
Console Master Race!
I can't imagine what the PS4 is going to sound like when in this game.
I'll give you an idea of what it's going to sound like. Instead of making a loud fan noise, it's just going to scream at you. Turn me off. It's going to stop. End me.
Do you know what? The only reason why I know some of the words that we mentioned here on this RT conversation and the graphics cards is because I would love to grab one of these graphics cards just so I can see. Just so I could see Judy in fucking ray traced reflections and lighting and that scene that we saw in the Cyberpunk Night City Wire, which I went back to watch afterwards, and my god, I just jizzed everywhere.
I've never understood why people are sexually attracted to pixels on a screen.
Excuse me.
How dare you?
You're looking at me on the screen. Are you telling me? Is this the way you're breaking it to me? Is this the way you're breaking it to me that you're not sexually attracted to me?
Yeah, I guess so.
Motherfucker! I'm kicking him off.
Wow,
Switch back to gameplay.
Can you believe this man would come on our podcast and tell us that he doesn't sexually objectify us? What?
My God, I can't believe you would do that.
Well, you see, it's a bit different with you, Sheps, because you're photoshopped onto Sinestro, and that's
Exactly.
that's a bit more acceptable.
It's pretty sexy.
But
That
Eddie's
speaks
there
right to your kinks, yeah.
with his Superman t-shirt on, and that's just nothing new to me. So it's not. Nah.
Okay, well, anyway, in 18 days, we'll get to see Judy. Well, I'll get to see Judy. You guys obviously can't touch her. But we'll get to see Cyberpunk 2077. No, I can. I'm gonna get one of those, those over the internet fleshlights where you can plug it in and interact.
Oh, no. Do you remember earlier I was saying how Ed seems determined to demonetize this channel?
Look at Ethan's reaction. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah, whatever, man. Do what you gotta do.
Anyway, guys, let's talk instead about PCs and PC peasantry and whatnot. Let's move over and talk about the greatest form of gaming, console gaming, the console master race, the PlayStation 5, our early impressions. I've got one. You guys saw it on launch day. Ethan's got one that he's stolen from Sheps.
It's true.
I kicked him in the bollocks, threw sand in his eyes, and ran off with his PS5.
And then dropped some money on the way.
I did drop money on the way, 450 quid, with which he bought, I don't know, maybe a few hundred bottles of something alcoholic and strong.
Desperados, let's do it.
Desperados,
there we go.
Because that's definitely how you felt.
Just a quick update on how that exactly went down. So we got that that order got cancelled. So I bought 3 orders for those of you guys that were counting. One for myself, one for Sheps, and then one as a buffer. It got to the point where it looked like both of our ones were okay. It looked like it was going to be fine. Ethan said he couldn't get one. So I was like, okay, I'll help you out, bro. Passed it over to him. And then when it came down to what was it, the week before launch, they were like, yeah, Sheps' one's cancelled. I was like, reason, please? Anything? Can we do that?
What the fuck? Yeah, no, exactly. You said it was fine before.
Exactly, all the way up to now. And the problem is that they didn't even tell me. I saw one payment come out from because they took the payment and it was pending from my account. And then it officially sort of ticked over and went in. But I saw one payment go through and then I was like, I wonder what's happened to the other one. Let me quickly log into my account. Order cancelled. I was like, so if I hadn't logged in, they wouldn't even said anything. I would have turned up and expected it to be there. I spoke to them after 4 days of going back and forth and them giving really, when you reply on Twitter, a Twitter DM, and then they take 2.5 days to get back to you. It was that over and over again, getting closer to the release date. And essentially they said, there was a payment issue. We can't tell you what the payment issue was for some reason, even though I'm the account holder. But it didn't go through and it's been cancelled and there's no way for us to revert it. I was like, so you guys didn't think to contact me when something went wrong. You guys are not going to try and resolve the problem. You've got another batch of consoles coming on launch day. You're not going to set one aside for the error. Nothing like that. They just said, fuck you. They just gave fingers and then left. I was like, great. Good stuff. And then at that point, I said to Ethan, sorry, we're gonna have to take back your PS5. And he said, how about no? And then he kicked Sheps in the bollocks and then ran off with the
Exactly, and that's where we pick up our story.
Exactly, and that's how that goes right there. So
and that's how Sheps became Sinestro.
Exactly,
That's
he was like, "Fuck it, I'm giving in to fear." Ah.
Yeah.
And Sheps was robbed. That's right. Hashtag Sheps robbed. That's right.
It's true. I mean, boys, if you could maybe help us start the drama going on Twitter, but also especially on YouTube, because both of our dying channels could really use it.
Hashtags in one. Hashtag Sheps was robbed. Hashtag Gamers Against Cancer.
Both of those together. That would be really good.
Let's make some beef to push our charity event. I would really like that.
That's what you want. A charity event hooked up, like directly adjacent to drama. That's what you want right there.
Well, exactly. Now, if it were it not for social distancing, I'd have said, fuck gaming. We're going to get in a ring together and knock each other out.
Hey, we could do Turkish-style wrestling where we oil each other up and just wrestle in a ring together. That'd be good.
Yeah, Turks, where manliness is such a prime concern.
Is everyone
and then
else...
these are the hobbies.
Yeah, they really are a bit fragile sometimes. Anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about the PlayStation 5. We've had it for a couple of days now, since the 19th. It's now the 21st. Obviously, I've spent the whole of the first day, the whole of the next day playing games, trying out little bits. I've even got a tips video coming up soon of little things that I think are really cool about the console. But let's start off with Ethan, seeing as he's our guest. How do you feel about the PlayStation 5? And is there anything that you really like or dislike about the console?
Okay, now, the obvious thing that I really, really like about the PS5 is the controller.
Yes.
The controller is the DualSense controller is absolutely, I don't know what the word, sensational is how to describe this thing.
Yeah.
You could
sensational. We get it. Let's see what you did there. Kick him off the fucking
dual sensational.
Goodbye.
Hey, dig.
I don't know where that was going, but it's really quite neat. And Astro Playroom is finished installing.
Lovely.
But this is a really neat controller, and it feels proper good.
Yeah.
It feels nice. Feels nice in hand. It's nice that it's quite bulky as well, and I like the bulkiness of it all. But it still finds itself being thinner than an Xbox controller, which is very nice. It just feels good. Looks. It looks.
It's
proper.
very N7. Like it could be on the Citadel or
the
Normandy or something. Like
you open up the wrong chamber of the Normandy and you see Commander Shevage shoving one of these up his ass.
Exactly.
See, I'm not doing it to the channel. It's Ethan. He owes us 10 million subs because of all the shit he says on this channel.
If only I had.
owe us.
I had a mate who streamed to Twitch once, and I'm pretty sure I got that mate suspended for about 12 hours once.
Oh, that's so bad. I bet you felt really bad for that. Actually, knowing you, probably not.
It's not my Twitch account. No, I think I did. I think I did feel bad about it because I kept forgetting we're on Twitch and there are different rules there.
Yeah.
And I can't get away with half or even a quarter of the shit that I say on YouTube.
Yeah,
I just can't. And on YouTube, I can't get away with even a tenth of what I'd say to somebody in private. So, not everywhere then. So you get what I mean.
But the controller's the party piece at the moment for you, right?
The controller is the neat piece, yeah. There's something about it that just feels proper quality.
Yeah, play Astro's Playroom because it seems to really show off the the DualSense 5. It's a DS5, frick you word.
The DualSense controller. There's not even a 5. You keep adding the 5 as well, and everyone's
just
pissed.
a DS5. unless you want to say this isn't the PlayStation 5, then this is the DS5. Suck it. Honestly,
and this is my favorite gaming on the Citadel.
It's like there's this one bit where all those Astro bots are in the controller and you move them and they like shuffle to one side, and something about that instantly went, because I experienced that on the stream and I was just like, okay, this is totally different. Ed said a couple days ago, or maybe like a week ago, that in his opinion, the DS5 and that 360 audio, it's the 1000 directional sound in the headset, might mean that if a third-party title supports that kind of stuff, supports the DualSense and all that, that it's just going to be better on the PlayStation 5. It's just going, and potentially, you said like 10 to 15 points on the Metacritic
Yeah, I
thing.
think that
And I think you might be right.
if it's properly utilized the way that Astro's Playroom utilizes it, Ethan's getting to see it firsthand right now. You're gonna get to feel all the.
Wow.
Here you go. You see, he's already orgasming right here because the Astro's Playroom perfectly showcases this game and how great it is and how it uses all of the DualSense functions and whatnot.
Look at him playing with the fucking analog sticks.
Little do you know, he's rubbing that on his nipples. Yeah, it's actually amazing. And if other games decide to fully utilize it, like I'm hoping Resident Evil Village does.
Ethan.
See, it's not even me. He's putting dicks on our stream without even me doing anything. If he fully utilizes it, if he fully utilizes it, then it will be amazing. It will actually make a difference, and there'll be people that say you need to play this on PlayStation over any other platform, and it will start to make that rift get even further away. And you know what? We didn't see this coming. That's the thing. We didn't see a revolutionary new controller coming that could set apart two consoles. We just thought, oh, the power that they've got. And then the Xbox has this 12 teraflops, which in some games is showing to not be a real thing or not being important for some reason. But then we've got this controller that's just come out of left field and everyone's like, oh my God, it's amazing. It's revolutionized the way that I experience games. I can't wait to play other games on it and see how other third parties use it. So, yeah.
On the power thing,
yes,
pat ourselves on the back. We totally called it. We did say that, one, it looks like that's with the new architecture of the PS5, it may not be appropriate to measure things that way, but even if it was the case, that it probably develops it in a way that you won't even notice. Like on paper, the Xbox might be more powerful and you won't be able to tell.
Yeah.
So
there was that Digital Foundry episode where they compared Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the new systems, and it's like that for some reason the Xbox is having screen tearing issues all the time. It's having frame drops below 60 frames per second, closer to 50, whereas the PS5's rock solid 60 frames per second. Doesn't.
And no, look, that could be the Xbox that they got. So
I don't know. I mean, they're both out now, and they're. I mean, you can
double jump.
You can assume that, but if you could say that about everything as well, then it's like that has to be a factor all the time. Anyway, this is not about the differences between. That's not what we're talking about. The DualSense controller, however, is just gorgeous, and it is its party piece. I platinumed Astro's Playroom as Ethan's doing in front of us live right now. And it was a great game as well as a great experience. And now I know what to expect from games going forward. It's really, really cool.
I just want to address, someone said in the chat that I'd be a better PM than Boris Johnson. And to be honest, you say that until I am. And then you realise that I absolutely am, but not for you.
There you go. Are there any other parts of the PS5 that you like? Is there anything else that stood out to you, or is there anything you don't like? Because I want to be fair, I want to talk about that.
I mean, I'm not had much time to really find stuff that I dislike. There'll be something eventually, but I mean, at the moment, I guess I'm just mostly waiting to see games that no longer have to be built in any capacity for last gen.
Yeah,
that's when the PS5 will begin to shine. We're not there yet. Yeah. What's the PlayStation Labo?
So when you go through the game, you collect what they call artifacts.
Die peasants.
You collect what's called artifacts, and it's essentially bits of PlayStation history. So like all the accessories they've ever released, all the consoles they've released, all the little bits.
A few console things they've done. There's a couple of little mascot things in here already.
Yeah, and they all collect here. And once it's all done, once you get like the platinum or whatnot, and you've got everything, it's actually quite nostalgic to look back on PlayStation's history. Like PlayStation's like a household name now. It's really good. It's really great.
I'm just lasering a man to death.
Yeah, I can see that. That poor guy's working on the PS1 demo, and you're not fucking.
How do you find the styling of the actual unit itself, the PS5, and its size and everything?
Oh, it's not as big as I thought it would be, to be honest, because people kept saying, "Oh, it's big, it's big," and I was like, "Oh, cool." Mm-hmm. I look at it compared to a PS4 Pro next to it, and I'm like, "Yeah, big enough."
Yeah.
But you know what? It's bigger, but it's not quite as deep. It's taller, and maybe a little bit wider and a bit awkward in shape, sure. And I thought, yeah, and you know what? It looks quite snazzy. I can't complain. about the snazziness. The snazziness I quite like actually because it just sort of looks modern, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like something like you said before, like you find on the Citadel with Commander Shepard doing cocaine and stuff.
I'm on your side. I did think when I opened up with Sheps, I was like, this is a big boy. This is a big boy right here. But after having it on my desk next to me, it just sort of just blends in. It doesn't do anything. It's not big enough for me to go, Jesus, that's taking up all this space on the desk. I have enough space for it. It's there. It's fine. Everything's cool. I don't see a problem.
I'm liking the adjust on the control of the resistance differences.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Yeah, the resistance is nice.
Just want to say a quick, hey, how you doing to the only other pillar with any talent. Gerg is in the stream, just said hello. He hopes you guys are enjoying the PS5s. That's tongue-in-cheek. Frick you both. We both hate you.
Oh, son of a bitch. See, both of you
I'm
guys...
just talking with a PSP right now, everybody. Let's do a dance.
He bought a PS5 so he can play with a PSP.
I can lob it. I'll lob the controller. Do you reckon it'll just spin about a lot?
Yeah, you
Definitely
should
try it.
Lob it at the wall. Lob it at the wall. See what happens.
Let's do it. It's all right. I've got one of these arriving in a minute. Let's find it.
I've never been more jealous in my entire life, says George. George, my man. Oh, boy. Thanks for swinging by, man. Thanks a lot for saying hi.
It's like a Wii Fit, but with a PSP. Look at me go.
You guys can't see. We can see his direct feed to his camera. He's actually rubbing it against his junk, and that's what's causing that to happen.
That's how it's working, yeah.
You know what? You're not actually that far off.
Oh, let's do it, boys. All right.
This is what it looks like when you wank yourself off with a PS5 controller in hand.
Now we know. Now we know.
Play the game, man. Go and play it and see how you...
What do you reckon this PSP would do if you shoved the DualSense controller up your ass and did a backflip?
Let's.
Well, I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Let's explore it. Let's explore it. Let's see what happens.
Okay, I presume I'm supposed to interact with this somehow.
No, that's one of the artifacts that I was telling you about. It's like to
okay,
find them and collect them and stuff like that.
Like I'm doing some crackhead's Macarena.
Nah, this is you get a few in here.
Right, that's pretty snazzy. That can't complain.
There you go, and then it appears in your living room PlayStation Labo area. There you go. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about the PlayStation 5? Is there anything that sticks out to you? Anything you feel like is noteworthy?
I've been playing a little bit of Spider-Man Miles Morales. We can talk about that in depth. But as for the console itself, I don't think I've had much hands-on experience go, oh, I know I can talk about this in full detail or something.
No, man, you're a YouTuber. It's fine.
You just scrape the bottom of the barrel and just talk out your ass. That's what we do, right?
That's exactly what I do. I'm always scraping the bottom of the barrel and talking out my asshole.
Let us talk a little bit more about the console, and then we'll move over to some games in a second.
Yeah.
Sheps, is there anything you wanted to mention? Even though, I mean, you've had the least amount of time out of all of us with this console, but is there anything that you really wanted to bring up? Anything you wanted to say?
Yeah. I think it's obvious that really anyone with the PS5 is to be pitied because they have no one to play with, and it's going to be a really hollow experience for those guys. And I pity them. I, for one, am glad that right now, like, I don't have one because you've got no one to play with.
Yep.
You know, and so I just wanted you guys to know that my condolences. I'm really sorry that you have to go through this trying time on your own. And that I think summarizes it. Yeah.
You know when the other day was it the day after release, you messaged me. It was like, "Hey, how's the Beast Station?" And I immediately, as a good friend of mine, I was like, "Nah, it's shit. It's shit, mate. It's actually a waste of money. I've wasted my money getting this console."
Yeah.
And then immediately you knew what I was doing. You were like, "Oh, you're such a good friend."
Yeah, I was like, I really appreciate it. I did really apprate it. I read it for a split second. I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh, I see. What a good guy."
It's a bit of a shame that hardly anyone's got a hold of one, though. To be fair, or at least that's how it feels.
It genuinely is. I did I put out a tweet, a poll the other day, and I was like, "Hey guys, day after release, how's everyone enjoying the PS5?" And I put down a couple options. It was like, "It's great, it's meh," and I put down, "This post hurts me. This tweet hurts me," as in for people who haven't got one. That was by far and away the one that won. Like, it was like 87% of people pressed that one.
It hurt people.
Well, yeah, it did hurt people because most people probably didn't get one. And I was like, how is that? Is it that bad? I mean, obviously, you don't know until you really are in it. Oh, that was an awful step there. What the hell did you do? Anyway, I didn't realize how many people couldn't get the console until that post. And man, I feel really, really upset for people.
What do I do with this thing? It reminds me of a bomb a little bit.
You have
you
to
throw it at
throw it.
that.
You press
Yeah.
square, and those things where the arrows are, it will throw it to that. There you go.
Oh, that's really cool.
Let me give you my thoughts on it. I've been playing non-stop with the console, testing out all kinds of different features and whatnot, going back and forth from like fidelity mode and performance mode in certain games and stuff like that, going into the finer settings and things like that. There's a lot of cool little things that a lot of people don't know about, and I am making a video to tell people about tips and tricks and stuff like that.
I'll run through a couple of those. I'm curious now.
One of those, you trust me, there are some of them that you probably would never have known because they never tell you, and it's like a feature. If you do it, it happens, and there's no instructions whatsoever. I don't know why it's like that. There is one feature. It's called a game switcher. If you want to do it for me right now, people can see it, Ethan. If you tap the PlayStation button very quickly, and if you go down to your sub menu down there, go across just the first one, the one where it's Astro's Playroom's logo. That's your game switcher. Hit X on that, and you can switch between recently played games there. Now, right now, it's a feature. For some reason, all it does is just launch the game directly from the start, and it actually closes your previous game. That's a quick way of doing it, right? Now, I think what they're doing here, and I haven't said anything about this, I think this is going to be the quick resume feature that we've seen on the Xbox, but it hasn't been fully implemented yet. Otherwise, this is a very useless feature. Closing your previous game from that menu seems very retarded. But I think that's what that's going to be, and it's a very quick way to launch games and stuff like that. We'll see soon in an update if they change something like that. But there's little things like that in this console that I really like, and a couple of other little things. But the DualSense controller really is the party piece, like you said, Ethan.
The controller is the party piece of this thing. It really is.
There was one.
I have a question. What happens if I throw myself off of this and go into the clouds?
Oh,
try it.
The game just shuts down
Goodbye,
and you never get to play again.
Yeah, you brick your console.
Well, I've bricked a lot in my life. Right, let's punch this robot squirrel. Come back here, dickhead.
Not the squirrel, not the squirrel.
Robot squirrel. Get it right.
Back on the controller for a second. We was playing Astro's Playroom, me and Sheps together on stream, and we did try to record some initial impressions that went horribly wrong. But it was actually a really, really cool experience. And there's some times where you, as Shep said, where you get the little Astrobots jump into your controller and you can feel them tilting to each side of the controller. And it's not just, it rumbles a bit more on one side than it does on the other. It genuinely feels like something's shifting inside the controller and has moved over.
You know what it actually does?
It's so strange.
Now, yeah, that is incredible.
It's strange how realistic that is. It's mad. I don't know how they did that.
It's just like a little robot domestic. Don't mind it.
Yeah, right? Look at him beating this robot up. He's trying to shoot a movie over there. Can't you see?
Oh, he's getting chinned.
It feels really good. So far, it's been getting great reviews. Everyone's really liking the console. I can't
punch him with the camera.
And that's based on the launch lineup. And speaking of the launch lineup, how do you guys feel of what games have come out so far and things that you've played already?
Well, there's nothing that's been built with only the PS5 in mind, is there? There's stuff that's had to account for the PS4. And there's stuff that has a PS5 version, yes, but it still has to come out in some capacity for the PS4, and that can affect world design and stuff like that. And
PlayStation said that they made the Miles Morales game for the PS5, and then they adapted whatever they could to the PS4 version. There's not been any features in the PS5 that isn't available in the PS4 version, other than things like ray tracing. So it kind of puts a shadow of doubt over your head whether or not that's true. But that's what they've said. Maybe they didn't have any extra features that they wanted to implement in Miles Morales that especially for the PS5 and whatever.
Don't mind this PlayStation controller. It's into some really hardcore drum and bass. It's also deaf. Don't tell it.
But
enough of that.
How do you feel about the Miles Morales, seeing as that's the game that you've played so far? A bit of.
Oh, I've been having a blast with that game. I really enjoyed Spider-Man from 2018, and the game is very similar, isn't it? It makes use of visuals a lot in a different way with the snow and stuff, and that's obviously a lot more demanding, and it's visually incredible.
Yes.
I'm enjoying the story of it so far. I'm enjoying Miles as a character. Mm-hmm. And it's all very snazzy, isn't it? It's just good old bit of gaming, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I've only played I don't know how long, but it's not long at all. But I've been having fun. The swinging still feels good. If anything, it feels a little bit more satisfying, a bit weightier
I think it
than
does too.
Than Spider-Man from 2018.
Yeah.
And that weightiness makes it feel a little bit, well, I think it gives you that feeling of, Miles is newer to this. This is a bit harder for Miles,
Yeah.
just because he's newer to this. But also with all these abilities and stuff, yeah, no, it's really cool how it has these abilities and how it substitutes them for having too many gadgets and stuff like that. And as a result, there's plenty there really.
I have a question though. Have you been switching between the 4K high fidelity ray tracing, all that stuff, and the 60 FPS, or have you just stuck to the 60 FPS?
I've just stuck to whatever's set first.
Okay.
I don't know what frame rate this is currently going at
This is
because
60.
Yeah. What about you, Ed? Because I know when you streamed Miles Morales, I think you started on with the ray tracing, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna change it up?
This is the thing. So we fired up on launch day the normal Spider-Man, and I ended up liking the 60 FPS more.
Mm-hmm.
But when I fired up Miles Morales and I played it on stream last night, I put it in the fidelity mode because obviously this is a new game and it was obviously going to be fully taking advantage of this ray tracing. And I stuck with it. I think, you know what? Don't get me wrong, 60 FPS is probably like way more, is way cooler. I've tried it and it is great. It's really good, especially for a Spider-Man game where you're swinging and stuff like that. But I really do like the fidelity mode, and maybe I'm just a graphics whore and I just really like to see good visuals.
Where do you find the setting to switch between fidelity and...
So you can't do it in this game. This game doesn't have the option. It's just fully ray tracing and 60 FPS. That's what they've managed to do. But if you go into...
Nearly installed.
You're nearly there. Go into Miles Morales if you want. It'll only take a second to load because of the amazing SSD. It's great stuff.
Oh, mate, to be honest, again, look, I pity you guys. Like, for me, if I want to load up, say, Ghost of Tsushima from a dead start, I load it up, I go make a cup of tea, I sit down, I enjoy the cup of tea, and then I'm in the game.
We don't get to enjoy
you guys. You get no time to rest. I pity you, man. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, thanks, man. We needed your pity.
I guess I have to go into a save game to...
go into a save game, yeah.
Let's go into this one because I'm pretty sure it'll be
right,
in the world and stuff like that rather than doing anything.
And if you hit the menu button and go down to...
God damn, that's so quick.
It's very quick, right? Very quick. Settings and visual. And then you're in fidelity mode, so you're in the 30 FPS mode with the beautiful ray tracing. But if you switch it to the performance mode, then it's 60
do
FPS.
something. Keep it on fidelity, swing around a bit, and then change it to 60 FPS and see what you think.
Oh, look at how snazzy it all looks.
It looks beautiful.
It do look snazzy.
It looks beautiful. And that's really the party piece of the game. It's just that it's ray tracing and the beautiful lights and the snow and New York in this gorgeous looking time of year.
Yeah, it makes winter look all right. Because here, all we get, I don't know about where you are, Fishy, but here in London, it's like you get snow for all of about 30 seconds and then it's mud.
Yeah, I was going to say mud and sleet.
Well, it's probably snow for about 45 seconds up these ways.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, go on. Switch over to performance mode.
Yeah.
Switch it over to performance.
Yep.
Right.
Visuals.
Performance. And then just closes it.
Yeah. We'll have to restart, but from the last second.
It takes a second, yeah.
All right, now go for it now.
God damn, that's quick.
It's still goodish looking, but you can tell the lighting is a bit less.
This feels so much better to me. Watching Miles's animations.
It feels a bit more responsive in gameplay. The animations are a lot smoother because obviously that's the fun of 60 frames. But I mean, visually, I think of the two, I prefer to have the ray tracing and the lovely visuals rather than say, well, this.
Me too. This is story spoilers. Don't touch that. Don't touch that.
Yeah. I guess we'll swing about Spider-Man a little bit.
Yeah, this is the way I was playing it last night, and I didn't feel the urge to change it when I was playing it. In terms of that, I think I'm going to stick to fidelity for a little bit longer. When I go do because I'm going to go get the platinum for it, you do have to play the game again in New Game Plus. I think then I might switch it over to the performance mode so I can experience the 60 frames per second as well. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. But in terms of story, without spoilers or anything like that, I'm really, really enjoying the story as well of Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Really? Because according to those Metacritic scores, there's only like 2.5 minutes of story in it.
There's only 2.5 minutes of story, and it's a DLC and everything.
And also,
like
the
that.
new Peter Parker looks shit.
Yeah, the new Peter Parker is definitely shit. It's totally not a problem at all. Fucking honestly, I saw the new Peter Parker, especially in this game. He's not in it for that much so far. He probably will be later. It didn't even bother me. I was like, that's a face. There you go.
Yeah, that's Peter Parker. That's Spider-Man.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Guys in the chat, give us your impressions of Spider-Man if you're playing it. Obviously, spoiler-free and stuff like that. I'll read that out in a minute. And also, if you have any gripes or any particular highlights of the PS5, let us know as well in the chat, and we can read those out. Adina noticed that your Bug Snacks is ready. So
switch it.
Forget this Spider-Man nonsense. Go over to Bug Snacks. Forget that nonsense right there.
Is Bug Snacks finished installing?
It came up with a notification for you on your screen. I think you saw that. Anyway,
We'll go over and have a look in a second. We will.
have you played any other games?
Well, I'm about to play fucking Bug Snacks.
There we go.
Hells yeah. How's your experience of Valhalla been? Like, I know you said it. Never mind. We're on Spug Snacks. It's cool.
We'll talk about Valhalla in a second. We'll pin that. We'll pin that.
Assassin's Creed and how that goes in a minute. I just want to see what Bug Snacks is about.
Even that splash screen right there, completely bewildering. What the hell is this game?
Yeah.
Does this have a
It's like a mix between Pokemon, Rick and Morty, Pokemon Snap, and like Animal Crossing. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And those old Facebook games, you like, do you remember there was that farm game?
Farmville, right?
Farmville, yeah. Like all of those games just smashed into one, doing a ton of acid and cocaine, and this is the love child.
Just going to read a few comments out here from a couple of the bros. Batfan257 says, honestly, I'm not fussed about the new face, or a new Peter face. And Strohart says, the game is short, but it's definitely not 2 to 3 hours, like those people were saying. I would say more to 6 to 8 hours, definitely on how fast you like to finish games. The original Spider-Man was longer, but 2 hours. That's not even Resident Evil 3. Exactly. It's not that much different. Granted, it's you have to think about the price, and it definitely did seem worse when it came to the next gen prices and the length of the game. It seemed a lot worse. I personally didn't have a problem with it because I knew we'd be getting a great product. Really,
belly. It's like having a watermelon as your belly.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
I would say play this until at least you meet this one random guy in the field in here, and you got to save him. Save this guy and then tell us what you think.
Yeah.
And you can keep playing if you want.
I already don't know what kind of drugs going on, but I'm noticing that the controller has like a little vibrate every time to simulate footsteps, if you will.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think the FO being ridiculously high is not helping this experience. Saw the FOV at 60, went nope, 105.
Yeah, we did that as well. We turned it right up.
Yeah, this is funny.
Isak Manny. Oh, by the way, yeah, like D's saying, if you haven't liked the stream, it'll be really helpful to us if you could do that. Like it, share it, comment, whatever you guys can do. It really helps us out. Thank you so much. Isak Manny says, Peter Parker is supposed to look like an average guy. I would say it's harder to identify Ben Jordan's face in a crowd than John Bubniak's face, which is the new one. So I would say Ben Jordan's face is better. That's a point. That's a point right there.
And look, it's always going to come down to personal preference. At the end of the day, when you're looking at two different people, some people are always going to prefer option A to option B and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I think what the point is that neither of them is bad.
That's the thing. None of them is going to be like, well, this game is unplayable, or I can't get into anything. Fuck it, turn it off, send it back. Nothing's like that bad.
If they'd have recast like Samuel L. Jackson to play Pete, we may have had some problems.
A little bit of issues, right?
It would have been fairly jarring. He's also the wrong age. That's the biggest thing that sticks out to me. He's the wrong age.
Jarring? What the fuck is Bug Snacks?
Yeah. It's an acid trip, man.
It's weird, mate, and
it gets weirder. Wait till after this video.
Yeah, very strange, very strange.
This creature's name.
Oh yeah, all the names are cracked out. It's so strange.
Yeah, not a single one of them's normal. Batfan says, I'm loving Spider-Man Miles Morales. Good story and great characters. Had no problems playing the game. I'm playing it in performance mode. So a lot of people I have seen, though, have been preferring performance mode. I guess because it's next gen, right? We're getting 60 FPS way more frequently than we have had before. This is what really you should be playing it on, right? I might be an idiot in this situation playing it on fidelity. I'm just a visual whole, and also because we've been on 30 FPS for so long, I guess I'm still used to it.
Yeah. Clumber nut.
Yeah, she's got a strange name. Everything she says is weird.
It's so much better. It's at this person talking where I was like, okay, this game may actually be freaking hilarious. Speak to this person. I'm gonna grab like a Mars bar sound. I'll be 2 seconds, boys.
Go for it, bro.
Ed, you're gonna have to hold your own with content.
Oh, this is terrible. I've never had to do this myself. Adina says, Adina, she's been playing my copy, obviously, while I'm sitting on the seat. She sits on my lap. Adina says, I played Miles Morales on the PS4 and the game had frame drops in certain sections. This is the thing. This is like the Valhalla thing I was saying. We should have... I feel bad because a lot of people probably haven't been able to get a PS5. A lot of people can't afford a PS5. Maybe they're waiting for Christmas. Maybe they're waiting for their birthday. Whatever it is, I feel bad. But there has to be a cutoff at some point. And I feel like this game deserves to be played on a PS5. At least from what I've seen. Granted, I'm saying it from my fucking privileged point of view where I get to sit on my fucking ivory tower while I've got a PlayStation 5, while I've got the financial ability to do it as well. Maybe I'm being a cunt. And feel free to let me know if I am. But I feel like there should be a cutoff at some point. Go on, how are you finding this woman?
She's mental.
She is. She is.
It's the puppety jaw movement rather than the actual mouth movement that's really odd.
Yeah, her whole head goes back when she's talking, right? Like a
clumpy nut.
It is strange.
It's like a.
I'm back.
Adina says that there are no loading screens as well on the PS4 version, which is really, really cool.
Of what?
Of Miles Morales. Only when you're leaving buildings. So other stuff has loading screens and whatnot. But yeah. What have we got? D says, I definitely think I changed the face of Tom Holland. Yeah, that's the running theory that they changed the face of Peter Parker to match closer to Tom Holland. I think there's an element of that in there. If they say no, they're chatting shit. But I think there was other things as well, because this is an expensive endeavor. I think there's definitely a contract issue. The other guy wanted more money or something like that. And they went, you know what? Forget it. We're just going to go with this. Go with another guy because you're being a dick, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, it's hard to know about that stuff. We're speculating. Obviously, ignorance has never stopped us forming a strong opinion.
Exactly.
Because we are on the internet. But I think there's definitely something to the Tom Holland thing, because we know the next movie is probably going to be the first superhero movie after Endgame that really leverages the Marvel audience again.
Yeah.
You know? So that would be my guess. Yeah, it'll be huge.
Ethan, they were enjoying you teabagging Philbo right here. This is a kid-friendly stream. Do you mind? Do you mind not doing that, please?
It's not kid-friendly, though, is it? You called something retarded earlier. There's no way that it's kid-friendly.
That's the nicest thing I've said so far.
Excuse me, God. As a person who finds Windows delicious, that is our preferred pronoun.
See, from an R-word person here, we've got the confirmation we can say it, okay?
It's your R-word hood pass.
Exactly. We've spoken a bit
Excuse
about...
me, I actually know one, and he said it's okay.
He gave me a pass. It's fine, guys. So we've spoken a little bit about Miles Morales. It's very good. If you guys haven't played it already, you should. It's really nice. The graphics are great and everything like that. How do we feel about Assassin's Creed Valhalla? Ethan, would you like to let us know about your experience both on PS4 and then PS5?
Would you like me to fire up Valhalla now and talk about it that way?
If you want to. Don't do anything spoilery, obviously, for the people watching, but tell us your thoughts on it, how you felt about it.
I got stuff in there. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you can't spoil AC Valhalla because for spoilers, there needs to be a story.
That's a good point. Good point right there. Yeah, this is...
You make a fair point, if only I agreed with it.
he legally can't agree with it because of he's a Ubisoft stan.
That's right.
Okay, let's find a save where...
Ethan is a Ubisoft stan. # Ashraf did nothing wrong.
That's right. That's it right there. That's right.
Right. Okay. Let's fire up. Just fire up one save here, one so we can load another save, and then.
Valhalla's crashed about 10 times for me, and I'm playing on the original PS4.
To be fair,
We'll talk-
Valhalla crashed a fucking lot.
We'll talk a little bit about the PS4 version, especially like my feelings and what my experience has been on that. Because I feel like, at least up until today, I felt like I was alone in it. And then I went up to the Ubisoft subreddit, and everyone else is just saying it's bugs.
At
But-
least on the PS5, it loads
The first thing I did
fast.
was murder
yeah,
a
it just
bird.
loaded really good. But let us know, Ethan, how is
Well-
it? How are you feeling it? How are you finding it on PS5?
Valhalla on PS5 is it's a good time. I'm having a blast with it. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm enjoying this game outright. To be fair, there's a lot to like, but I think one thing that is worth remembering is it's still very much so a Ubisoft game.
Yeah.
So what I mean by this is the store. You see, single player game need microtransactions, do they? How do I
Yeah.
have these items? What has happened?
Go on, buy loads of microtransactions. Support Ubisoft.
Have I bought any? What is that? Oh yeah, no. For some
Tattoo.
reason, I have 300 Helix credits, but you can't
Go
buy
find that tattoo. That makes everything right at Ubisoft. As long as
Oh
you buy
yeah,
that
the
tattoo,
sisterhood one.
yeah, that 10 years, many years of targeted abuse all goes away.
Just because of
You
that.
know how it goes for giving place to games industry, innit?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone thought when they saw that. Yeah, this is it. This is all that needs to be done. I don't think there's anyone alive.
You say that, but the
believe in that
internet
movement
is
or otherwise,
quite
who thinks,
R-word.
oh, they've given us a tattoo, that's enough.
Right.
I don't think even the people who made the game, who put that in there, are like, oh, this is enough. No, that's just them saying, yep, you know what, we're committed to helping this change come to be. So here's our promise to you. It might fall empty, it might not, but that's the thing that we'll have to wait for. As for the game itself, I'm having a good time with it. It has a pretty solid narrative, to be fair. I mean, hardly something that hardly one of the best narratives that I've played, because I mean, I think it's kind of hard for Assassin's Creed to do that now, when there's been so many misfires with the franchise. Whereas it, as an isolated story, it's pretty damn good. There's a lot to it.
I mean, how do
Gameplay
you...
wise, I think this is the biggest fault. Really, the bugs, the gameplay. The gameplay is still quite similar to Origins and Odyssey. There's a little bit more refined to it, and that's okay. Combat's still a bit naffy. Visually, it looks pretty nice, world-wise, but some of the faces look weird. Let's go and scrap whatever this thing is. I think this is King Alfred's battle sow, because of course everyone has a battle sow.
Yeah.
Of course.
Naturally, Assassin's Creed, man.
I mean, look, end of the day, of course, they aimed for The Witcher 3, and I would say in every way they've exceeded it.
Oh yes.
Agree?
Agree. 100%
Yeah,
agree.
good.
Yeah. People are like, The Witcher what?
Where are their combat? What's
Oh,
The
shit,
Witcher
that,
again?
that bull is gonna knock you out, mate. It's gonna have you.
Oh my god, this is like playing Odyssey all
Mate,
over
it's a
again.
boss fight. What the hell is this?
Assassin's Creed.
The hell is this game?
This
Can
is so
I-
strange.
Can I give you
It's not-
my feelings and experiences with Assassin's Creed so far?
Failing
Yeah.
to hug Leonardo too many times.
Yes. So with AC Valhalla,
Who puts a ridiculous amount of balls in with one another?
yeah, this is weird. In AC Valhalla, I started playing it on
What
PS4.
is this? What is it doing? Look at
It's just trundling towards you. So I bought the game on PS4 because I wanted to play it before the PS5 came out so I can get some decent time in there. Enjoyed the story, which is what everyone was raving on about. They're saying Darby McDevitt is handling the story. It's going to be the best thing in the world. Let me experience that.
Also, Cyberpunk was coming out the same day when you ordered it.
I didn't want to play it because Cyberpunk was coming out. And then because it got delayed, I was like, let me find something.
That's right.
And I went to AC Valhalla. How's it going, Zahir? How's it going, bro?
I don't know what I'm doing, but
I think
I'm
you might be
fighting a battle.
you might be too low level for that because what your damage that you're doing is basically nothing.
Yeah,
it'll
no.
be fine. Just fight all the Valkyries now.
Just do it. Fine with the Valkyries.
So
That's a
I
God
am
of
off
War
to
reference.
Valhalla.
Oh,
Ow.
you're getting kicked. Yeah, yeah. I saw that
Right.
coming. I saw that coming.
I had health. I didn't want to waste it healing myself, knowing that I'd get kicked to death.
Yeah, Zahir, this is pre-recorded. This is pre-recorded. Are you telling me that wasn't canon? What you just did there? It got desynchronized. That's so strange.
Of course, it was canon. It's
So-
Assassin's Creed.
I bought it on PS4. I played it, fired it up, and I had tons of bugs in terms of things like T poses, facial animations were all off and stuff like that.
Bro, send them my way. Come on.
Mate, I've got some clips I could definitely send you.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was
for sure. 'Cause I'll add them to that little montage. I'll do it. It'll make my life a bit easier. And we'll have a laugh
lovely.
with it.
It was all really, really, really
Don't
bad.
know for anyone else. If anyone else has had any Valhalla bugs that they want to send the clips of, I can pop it into like a big montage thing, and we can have a laugh at the expense of the game.
Feel free to send it.
Because I've got about 6 minutes worth on my own recorded now at the moment. Just sat in like a clip ready to go. I just need as much as possible. Send me all of the bugs. Send them on Twitter.
What was
Send
the
me
title?
download links. Don't send me viruses. Send me send me YouTube videos of the. Obviously they have to be yours because I can't steal other. I can't steal people's content. You have to give me the permission to use it. Otherwise, I won't. So yeah, if you send me those clips, wherever you can get at me, emails via WeTransfer, whatever. You know my business email. It's on my YouTube thing. Send them my way, and we'll have a laugh at this game's expense. Because come on, it is nearly in a Unity state.
It's quite bad. It's going to be better after the patches, right? Just like Unity.
Oh
Yeah, of course.
Unity was very much so better after the patches.
Apparently, yeah.
Not that I would know.
Let me get this out here because I feel like it's important from at least a guy who's not deeply rooted in the Assassin's Creed universe and whatnot. I played it, had those glitches, and I sort of forgave it, right? I sort of forgave those glitches because I was like, maybe they've just gone too far into optimizing this into the PS5 that maybe that's the issue. But people are saying there's still issues on the PS5. I still can't get my PS5 version, so I can't confirm that. But the thing that this game does that's not good, the thing that makes me go, why the hell do people like playing Assassin's Creed if this is the standard that they're getting, is that the animations of the characters, they're not mocapped. They're all like hand animated by people.
Just I don't understand.
Exactly. So it feels
feel real, but it makes it feel contrived.
It feels cheap. It feels really like a Tesco's brand version of what you should be getting, especially when we've got such great mocap in Miles Morales, in normal Spider-Man, in God of War, in Last of Us Part 2, stuff like that. We've seen it. And Ubisoft have the money to be able to do this stuff, but they don't because it's cheaper, because it's a big world and it's going to be tough to do. And they're trying to strive for greatness, things like with The Witcher, but they're taking all these shortcuts, which makes it feel cheap. Now, I played it, and I'm trying to enjoy the story. When you have cheap and crappy animations like in AC Valhalla, it really takes you out of it. I'm not enjoying myself, even the story, because of how bad that stuff is. That's my feelings on it so far. Maybe it will change if it gets a bit better.
I get the vibe you didn't play Odyssey because you'd have already mentioned that you hated that game to pieces.
Yeah, I started it up, and then people were like, "Oh, this is awful," and I was like, "Well, all right, I'm just not going to waste my time on it then." And I didn't spend 400 hours playing Odyssey like that one guy.
I just hacked a bird to death with an axe.
Yeah, how did you do that? It's a bird. Should be in the sky.
Fly off, bastard. No,
yeah.
And they don't fly quick enough.
But everyone, there are people obviously like James and I think George has been playing it as well, who obviously know Assassin's Creed, who are deeply in Assassin's Creed, and are just looking at the story. And I don't know if they're looking at it in rose-tinted colored glasses, but they're saying they're really enjoying it, and they're enjoying at least the story of it. I can't get into the story because of all the crappiness around it.
The crappiness around it will certainly be more off-putting if you're not expecting it, for sure.
So you guys are saying because you're in it, you know what to expect.
We know what to expect. Yeah.
You know the low quality of Ubisoft that you guys are like, you know what? This is just Ubi, you know.
It's not even I don't like to call it low quality in one way, because the story there deserves to be praised for what it is, because I'm really enjoying that. There are some aspects that I don't like, and I'll when it comes to it, I'll explain that. But I'm waiting for more people to finish the game before I go into anything. But gameplay wise, it has moments where it's good when you can slow it down properly. But there are other moments where it feels like the biggest problem is this is the same the same version of the Anvil engine that we saw in Origins and Odyssey, and it doesn't feel fresh. It doesn't feel fresh at all. And then you've got the cutscenes where sometimes they're actually proper cutscenes and they're good, and sometimes the acting carries it. Sometimes characters sound like they're just Google Translate though.
The thing about the actual cutscenes where it's almost like they have done mocap for those cutscenes and they do it like a CG rendering of whatever's going on. And it's so jarring going from a beautiful mocapped CG scene and then going into directly next to it another cutscene that isn't mocap, that isn't CG. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with... Why would you do that? What's wrong with you?
Let me, before we get any proper, like, what I want to do is I want to quickly sort something out before I show more.
Go ahead. Your orange screen was good for a second there. It changed back immediately, but there you go.
There we go. It's good. I just wanted to get rid of that quest log there so it didn't. So
yeah,
it wasn't really a spoiler, but I don't want to show off anything about that really. So my mistake.
How's everyone in the chat? Your experiences with Assassin's Creed? Give us some thoughts there, and I'll read them out in just a moment. But that's how I'm
enjoying
feeling
it on
with this.
PS5 though. To be fair,
you've been enjoying what? Sorry.
I've definitely been enjoying it on PS5.
Okay. It's good on PS5 at least.
It's good on PS5. It was good on PC until I tried to start streaming it, and for some reason, Streamlabs OBS doesn't enjoy it. Like it goes, no, we're not doing this, and then what happens is the frame rate decides it's going to drop through the fucking floorboards. Not in the game, not in OBS, but when it's being uploaded to the internet, and that's like, what? Why?
I think that's actually the Assassin's Creed problem. There was people reporting similar stuff like that with with Odyssey.
Came into my chat like, I'm having this issue. Can you help me out here?
Odyssey was really weirdly demanding, even though there wasn't anything that was like.
That's impressive. I know what you mean.
It's so strange, right? It's like they're doing what.
And then you can have Red Dead Redemption 2 and have no issues whatsoever. I mean, you will have issues. It's Red Dead Redemption 2. It wasn't exactly amazingly ported, but just the same. I had no issues with that. I had no issues with The Witcher 3, all of which looked miles better than Odyssey did, and yet Odyssey was ridiculously demanding.
Yeah,
Origins was more demanding, but in its defense, it did look a little bit better.
Let me just read a few comments out here. Adina says, Batfan first of all says, I find the combat more annoying in raids when multiple people are fighting you. It's awkward.
Yeah, no. Especially when they come at you in different paces and speeds and shit like that. And then you can't slow it down. You can't judge it on your own terms. You have to sort of go with the speed of the combat, which is when it turns into a massive clusterfuck, which is the biggest issue with it, really, is that clusterfuck atmosphere of it. It's like, well, this is a mess sort of thing. If you slow it down, it's nice. Boss fights where you're fighting one guy one-on-one, oh, this is nice, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when they're your level. If they're higher, then it's just a pain. It's like, oh, this has been level gated. I don't really like level gating in a game that didn't have that as one of its opening selling points. You know what I mean? And now it has it. But when you can slow it down, you can do the combat on your terms, it's not so bad. But the moment that's out of your control, it's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah, I bet.
Let me get into this fucking tent, bastard. Right,
Adina says, like the beginning, looked really good, but when you get out into the open world, it looked shit. I guess because he's also playing it on PS4 as well, so it's looking.
I mean, the world on PC and PS5 looks all right.
Yeah.
But I can imagine on PS4 it probably looks quite miserable.
I think they tried too much to make it into a next-gen game, but they also wanted to cash in on the people on the previous gen because that's Ubisoft.
Part of me wants to fire it up on the PS4 and see how it looks.
Oh mate, I've played it and it's not worth it. Please don't do that.
Is it not good on PS4?
It's not good, especially with all of the bugs and how it was stuttering in cutscenes. I'm like, how do you? You just can't enjoy anything. Really, didn't enjoy anything. And the thing is, my PS4 Pro is only a year and a bit old. Like, because I keep changing my PS4s every 5 days. So it's not like I had an old one or something like that. I have a lot of problems with how unpolished it is, says Zahir, but he's enjoying it to some extent.
I'm enjoying it in a lot of ways, but my biggest issue is the polish and, like you said, some of the animations, the lack of mocap. I feel like that makes a more artificial, disembodied experience.
Yes,
that doesn't, in not a positive way there at the very least.
Especially if you go from mocap to no cap.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when compared to other games on the market that do similar things, it just doesn't. It just feels a little bit more false. And Jesus, that's a lot of pigs.
Yeah, fucking hell. Wait, where the hell are you? Second ago you've been covered in bulges, and now you're covered in balls. What the hell's going on?
Oh my god, not another one.
How the hell did you do? Anyway, a couple of other guys as well. Mr. Shen saying, I finished it, had a lot of bugs, crashed a lot. The story in modern
Oh,
day is probably the best for a while,
God.
but nowhere near Revelations, he says.
Yeah.
And Strohart, the last one I'm going to read here, says, I like the story, but yeah, the game engine is a little bit too old. I hope the next AC will finally use a new game engine.
It's not even the age of it. It's just the fact that it's stale. It's
Yeah.
just been used in other games. Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey use the engine in the exact same form, really. The same version of the engine. They use Anvil for all Assassin's Creed games, really, as far as I'm aware.
It's a bit like EA with the Frostbite engine.
the
Everything
engine
must use the
itself
Frostbite.
The engine itself isn't the problem, but the problem actually stems from the fact that it's just. I feel like it's just it's done now. Like, we've seen it. This isn't new. This isn't really a new experience gameplay wise. So you can't
Yeah.
really sport it as such, and you don't feel it as such either. It's just not pleasant in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I there's a lot to like about Valhalla. I'm liking a lot of it. There's a lot there's a lot that helps bring it up. But one thing that will be hard to get past is the fact that it just feels so dated out the gate. Despite looking nice in the open world, some things don't look as good as previous entries that use the exact same engine, such as Fire, or some faces look silly, and that's just been a problem for for the past 3 games now. Bugs, they're a bit mental. This bird flew through this wall. Somebody call its mum. I don't know what's going on.
See,
you get what I'm
disappointed.
trying to say.
I'm disappointed in it, especially because I was turned round at the last minute, at the 11th hour, to buy this game. I was desperate to find something, and it was probably all thanks to Cyberpunk being delayed. It was a lot of people were going to overlook this game. A lot of people who are real gamers, not like you, Ethan, who just buy AC because it's AC. People who were going to overlook this game hard, and then that delay happened, which essentially saved this game. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll buy the game then. I'll buy it so I can play it. And then immediately I regret purchasing it. You know, this is
Yeah, no, I know. I guess I know what you mean on that one.
This isn't, and to be fair as well, the thing that I'm really annoyed about is just how unpolished it is and how Tesco brand it feels.
You'd think that 3 games in the same engine, you'd at least be able to polish it.
Exactly. And then how Tesco brand it feels in terms of those animations and the facial animations and the mocap not being there and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
for
really
a
hard
big
to
company.
see silver lining when you've had to do it for the same. You had to do it the same way for 2 previous games.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a fair point. There's a lot that you have to sort of. This is a sort you have to. I mean, I wouldn't say you have to overlook anything, because at the end of the day, if the problem's there, address it. Otherwise, the problem's not going away. Because come on, apparently complacency is pretty common among developers.
Came up with a good little line here, which if I ever do a review of AC Valhalla, this will be the tagline: unpolished and unrefined. There we go. That's gonna be it right there.
I'm pretty sure someone's already said that, and it absolutely is unpolished.
I coined it. That's my official review right there.
Yeah, Ed's been working on that for a while now. How was AC Valhalla done, like in the grand scheme of things?
I've heard the sales have been good. I heard that it's been doing okay sales-wise.
Because it was just because of Cyberpunk being delayed.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was expecting it to be DOA.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's, you know what, you get to kill more time now, because the game itself ain't too bad. I quite enjoy playing it, and I despise the gameplay of Odyssey, especially. I didn't like Origins gameplay too much. I felt like the RPG elements took away a lot of the refine, and while there's a bit more in this than there has been in Origins and Odyssey, it's still way below what I'd expect from a game releasing in 2020. But no, I'm not a fan of the gameplay, and I'm definitely not a fan of the bugs. I find them funny because I just don't have the time to get upset over bugs. I'll be honest, it's just hilarious. But you know what I mean. It's just one of those things where I'm having a good time in spite of all those issues. You know what I mean? Or well, despite.
I'm
even.
glad that you are, because I don't actually wish anyone to be like hating the game because I'm not enjoying myself from what I'm experiencing and whatnot.
well.
If you can always find a silver lining in something, it's always good. But just so you guys all know you're wrong. Okay, all right. Well, that's as long as you know that. That's fine with me.
Exactly.
There you go. Do you mind? Has anyone got any last thoughts on either the PS5 or AC Valhalla or Spider-Man? Any game really?
Yeah, the
It's really
PS5 and AC
game
Valhalla
without
are actually
been murdering rabbits. Sorry.
the
That's all
PS5
I'm
and
doing.
AC. Shut up, Ethan.
Innit?
PS5
Fucking
and
hell.
AC Valhalla are actually they're the opposite ends of the same horseshoe, right? The PS5 is more fun if you actually have it, and AC Valhalla is also more fun if you don't have it.
There you go. That's right.
There we
That's
go.
something I don't envy
Opposites.
right there. Hunter's asked a question. Demon Souls. Would you would love to know what you think about it, Hunter? That's the one game that I own that I haven't put in yet. I'm saving that to play on a stream, but I'm looking forward to it a lot.
A zero deaths stream.
Oh yeah, zero deaths, because that's my style. I'll play on the highest difficulty with zero deaths. That's the way I'm doing it. But I'm so looking forward to that. Reviews have been amazing. It's was it 92 on Metacritic, which is a fucking great number. Yeah, I laugh if it's gone up again, because that was one that I nailed at 93, but then it went down by the time we did our recording.
91.
91, it's gone down even more. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There is one other thing as well. I bought Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War for one reason and one reason only, to play the 120 FPS mode.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
So my television downstairs, I don't know, I couldn't tell you. My TV downstairs is 120 FPS hertz, right? So I thought, great, I can buy this and hook up the PS5. Turns out, for some reason, my TV is just in the generation before they made it applicable to gaming. For my TV, it has to be plugged into a PC that has a specific type of signal or specific setting that allows for the 120 FPS to be utilized. So the PS5 signal that sends out, it doesn't accept it, and it doesn't show 120 FPS.
For television, where else other than gaming are you going to get 120 frames per second?
These guys
I can't
think
imagine that Sky does that.
These guys think that apparently a PC is the only way that someone would ever do it, and would connect a TV up to their PC.
Who connects a TV up to a
Exactly.
PC? It cuts off the corners, doesn't it?
I bloody bought this game specifically for that, so I could tell people what 120 FPS is like. I got screwed on that bullshit right there, and yeah, I'm not gonna get to experience it. But the triggers feel good in the game, at least on the DualSense. I don't like the ADS feeling on the trigger. Sheps, we played this, right?
Yeah, the ADS was very slow, very sluggish and weird, and it felt like it was pulling your aim.
Yeah, it pulls
away.
resistance on when you're trying to do the aim down sights. And I don't understand what that feeling's supposed to be, because if you have a gun in your hand and you want to put it to your face, there's no resistance.
It's not like you're pulling against an elastic band to get it to come up.
Yeah, and I was like, you're just slowing me down in the operation that I'm trying to do. The trigger, it doesn't feel heavy, but it gives you that feeling of a trigger which isn't real, but, you know, is video game real.
It feels like it feels right, but it's completely wrong. Yeah,
exactly. If at least that feels good, but it's not counterintuitive. Whereas that other one is just pointless. It's stupid. We turned that one off anyway, and just left the trigger on the actual gun, and it felt good there. Anyway, if that's everything we're going to be talking about those games, would you mind if I jump into a few news topics in gaming that's happened since we last spoke?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, boys, let's kick it over to our very first one. The Game Awards are officially happening on the 10th of December, and the nominations have been revealed. I did have them up and they've all gone. The Game Awards nominations. I had them up and they've disappeared. So give me a second, lads, and I'll get this.
This will be interesting. I bet there's a few there that I disagree with.
So, if you guys remember the last Game Awards, one game got left out of the mix because it came out just too late for everyone to be able to vote. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So, as you would, so you'd expect it to be this year, right?
So, tell me it's not allowed.
It's not that it's not allowed. It's just it's been overlooked. It's just not included at all in the Game of Year discussion.
So it didn't get nominated or something?
It didn't get nominated. So the games that have been nominated are Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and for some reason I can't scroll to the left. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Oh, what
Well,
the
so far they're all bangers.
Yeah, so far they are all bangers. Let me just. Oh, sorry. Game of the year. Let me look at that. I can't scroll to the left for some reason on my. I don't know. What the fuck is going on? Can anyone pull them up? Chips, can you have a look for me? My scrolling's
sure.
gone. Okay, oh, I've got it back. So Hades, Animal Crossing: New Horizon, and The Last of Us Part 2. Those are the games that have been nominated for Game of the Year, and there are a ton of other categories as well, best sound design and stuff like that. But the game that got snubbed, that everyone wished was in the running last year because it was a great game despite how unpolished it was.
It was very unpolished.
Sheps had
Still
one
is.
or two bugs, I think. He had
I did maybe have one or two. I mean, it's hard to tell, but
It's hard
I might.
to tell with a game looks good just how many bugs you got.
Exactly.
I
But they're
do
too
think
many.
it's a pointless argument though, because the game that's gonna win is The Last of Us Part 2. So even if you did put Jedi Fallen Order in there, it will lose to the greatest game on there.
Yeah, it'll get trounced by The Last of Us 2.
It will.
It was just, and we're like Star Wars guys, you know.
Yep.
But like this, to be brutally honest, the story in Jedi Fallen Order pretty meh at best.
Yeah.
I just
Had
said it now in the
highlights.
comments.
It had highlights.
Yeah, there was definitely some cool stuff and that one great cameo, but like if Jedi Fallen Order wasn't Star Wars, like if it wasn't shiny laser swords and like psychic abilities in a franchise that we know and love, it would have been a nothing game. That would have been like a really weird small indie thing that sold like 2,000 copies, and 5 of the people were like, "Well, this is really cool," and everybody else was like, "Good thing this was cheap." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not. It never lit the world on fire.
That's right. Oscar saying, why has Animal Crossing been nominated? Do you know what? Animal Crossing set the world on fire when it came out. I didn't play it, but my girlfriend played the shit out of it. She took my Switch to play that crap, and she enjoyed the shit out of it. So, you know, it's not our section, but it is a big section of the gaming community.
Imagine if that wins. That'd be. You know what?
I would riot. I would riot. I'm like, this.
I'd be really happy if that won. I wouldn't care.
I'd be like, this is not what we want people to think when they see gaming. This is not what we need to represent us. This is a great game for certain people, not for gamers. Okay, gamers mean a lot. We need to not devalue the brand of gaming.
What defines a gamer then? Because playing Animal Crossing is a game. If you play it, you're a gamer, aren't you?
Yeah, but the game itself should not define us. Gamer is someone who has good taste. A true gamer is someone who has impeccable taste. You know,
true.
The two people at the top over here, the guy below, is still debating.
It's in question.
Yeah,
I was about to question what is this title? True gamer.
True.
I can't see any here.
Listen, it's a very elite thing. You can't just get it. You know,
I'm gonna come out and say it. Of all of those, and I do enjoy I've enjoyed a lot of them. I think The Last of Us 2 should win Game of the Year, and by a long way.
And Ghost of Tsushima's there, and you're a big
maybe
Ghost of Tsushima fan.
Maybe I'm just a bit bitter. I wasn't a huge fan of The Last of Us Part 2. I didn't dislike it. I really enjoyed it, but it's not a game I have any desire to replay.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not replaying The Last of Us because I can't take the emotional strain.
Same.
That's the reason why I can't play it. So does that mean that it's not Game of the Year worthy, or does it mean that I just don't want to cry?
It was the thing that I enjoyed the most this year either. Like Ghost of Tsushima was another blast that I had.
I absolutely love Ghost of Tsushima, but the story doesn't hold a candle to The Last of Us 2.
Well, you know,
in terms of, if you think about like, and I don't know how you responded to The Last of Us 2, but for me, I was constantly I was really genuinely drained every time I put the controller down from all the like just the sheer amount of emotional response that I was giving the game was getting out of me. And I'm not saying that like to say it wasn't the most enjoyable. Like I think I've had the most just lighthearted fun on Ghost of Tsushima or something like that. But the fact that The Last of Us 2 made me feel that hard for so long, I have to put that down to something in it. And plus, it looks so amazing. The combat was so smooth and slick. I thought that game was incredible.
That's something. That's something actually. I mean, as well as the story being amazing the story is opinion based, whether it was good or not. Whether I think it was something. The writing, I think it was something. But the animations and combat and world design as well is on another level as well in that game as well.
And the fact that it was running, at least for me, on a base PS4
crazy,
and ran that smoothly.
Crazy.
That smoothly, it's insane.
But it did have year-long loading screens.
It did. It did.
It was quite long. It was quite long.
It took.
But Doom Eternal was brilliant as well. Actually, I take it back. Doom Eternal and Ghost of Tsushima, I think, have been the most fun. Like the most just, man, I cannot wait to sit down and play it. Whereas The Last of Us was like, man.
Yeah.
I had to take a few breaths to steady myself to play it, but yeah.
That's the thing. It was a different experience for Last of Us over everything else.
Yeah.
One game that has been left out this year, I don't know
that Hades game though.
I don't know if it will get the Jedi Fallen Order treatment next year, but Cyberpunk 2077 got delayed so much that it's now been pushed out of this year's Game of the Year discussion.
Good.
Yes.
And I hope and as a little just a dig at CDPR for cock teasing us this much, I hope it gets Jedi Fallen Order and left out of the next one as well.
Why not?
Listen,
you either take your medicine like Red Dead Redemption 2 had to.
Oh boy. Red Dead Redemption had to go up against God of War. I mean, that was an unfair fight right there.
That one could have gone either way at that point.
Yeah.
I think I would have given it to Red Dead Redemption 2, but you know what?
It's gonna
what? God of War 1, fair and fucking square.
Yeah. But Cyberpunk might, although we don't believe it, Cyberpunk might get the same treatment as Red Dead Redemption 2, because next year, allegedly, we're going to get the next God of War installment as well. So if we do get it...
another trip.
Exactly. It's going to be put to the side again, maybe, possibly. But that's all based on whether or not something comes out.
Make it a meme every other year. God of War comes back and fucks up the entire Game Awards.
Everyone's just literally like, "Ah, shit! They've got a God of War coming out this year." No, God damn it!
We have conspiracy theorists in the crowd shouting, "It's rigged!" Not.
Cory Barlow comes up and he's like, "I'm very sorry to have to have done this to you, Cyberpunk, but go and join Red Dead Redemption over there in the corner."
I just want to bring this up because it's an interesting debate question. Hunter said he doesn't rate games based on how miserable they make me feel, right? Or I don't rate games based on how miserable they make me feel.
Yeah.
In regards to Last of Us 2, which I get, but on that same reasoning, that means that no horror game can win ever.
True. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like there are games that are designed to make you feel different.
Horror.
Well, no, but it makes you feel a not good thing, right?
It makes you about what I'm gonna have for dinner.
Like, yeah, right. Like,
I don't play horror games. It's a joke.
Yeah, I don't play horror games either, but some people do and they love them. So, like, Resident Evil must never be able to win any award ever because at the end of the day, it doesn't make you feel good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so, in my opinion, the Game of the Year elect,
The
Last of Us 2.
The point that I think we're trying to make, Hunter, well, at least my point that I'll put this in my version of words and hopefully it resonates in a way as well, is that this Last of Us Part 2 did something that other games I don't feel like has done. We've had games where we're like, okay, it's enjoyable. It's got a story of like a father and a son, like God of War or something like that, and it plays it out and it tells a story in an interesting way. This was the first game that made you feel an incredibly powerful emotion, whether or not it was good or bad, or whether or not it was exciting at the moment or something like that. It made you feel something, and it did something that gaming has never done before. And in a way, it kind of legitimized gaming in a way, because other people just see it as, if it was Martin Scorsese, for example, he would say it's a roller coaster ride, it's a carnival ride and whatnot. It's not true cinema, he would say. But I think he might reconsider it when it comes to The Last of Us Part 2. He might turn around and say, "Do you know what? This is something right here. This is true cinema."
All right, cool. Yeah, I think we are all agreeing in different. We're like aggressively agreeing because I think we're all on the same thing here. Just to be clear, though, Hunter, we're not saying that the only reason it should win is because it got a big emotional response. Which I would also say, The Last of Us. Obviously, The Last of Us 1 did that. Mm-hmm. God of War did that. And for me, The Witcher 3 did that.
Yeah.
I think there's very few moments.
2 did that. Red Dead Redemption 2 got a huge emotional response too.
It's true.
Yeah, I didn't play RDR.
Did
But,
you not?
no. But
It
there's,
made
I
me
mean,
cry.
did it really?
No, it's one of the ones where you tear up at a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It
cool.
really was.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's very few moments in gaming that really get to me, and Geralt finding Ciri, you know, with the fucking sleepy dwarves and shit, the
Yeah.
Snow White's dwarves, like that moment where he thinks she's gone, dude, that fucking hits me in the guts every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. You need to play Red Dead, man. Do it, please.
Yeah, I might nick Ed's copy, but I'm still really enjoying the Ghost of Tsushima, and that's my thing for Ghost of Tsushima, right? Where it falls down for me is the story, and I honestly I would have spent, because we get a fraction of it in this one little throwaway dialogue scene as you're riding up to fight something, but Jin is riding with like a general or something that knew his dad from back in the day.
Yeah.
And the guy says, "Oh, blah blah. What would your father think of you now?" And he goes, "I'd be disappointed." And he says, "No, I think he'd probably quite like a lot of what you're doing." He had some different. He and your uncle always argued.
It's the nanny from his old.
That's it. Yeah.
Along.
Yeah.
And she goes, "I wonder what your father would think of the ghost." And Jin's like, "He would probably disapprove."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Don't be so sure."
Yeah, exactly. And I would have taken the rest of the game in that direction.
Same as you. That's a lot of story.
Yeah,
That's a
I
lot
would have.
of one little dialogue.
Yes. And I would have taken the rest of that story. I would have made it another father and son story, where he starts to get to know his dad in a way he never had the hopes to, by sort of as he goes down this path and pushes himself away from the guy that became his dad, his adoptive father. He gets to know his biological father, who he had this troubled relationship with as a kid, as well as doing all the Mongol stuff. That's how I would have taken it. And because it doesn't have that real deep story, I did really like it. I did really like it. It was just a little thin. And I also wasn't a huge fan of the way you fought the Khan at the end. But I really loved it. But overall, the story was just a little bit meh in comparison to those games like Ghost of, The Last of Us 2 and those other things. I don't know. I just felt like it missed it, and I love that. I love that game.
Speaking of Ghost of Tsushima, there was a rumor going around that apparently Ghost of Tsushima might be coming to PC based on a screenshot on Steam or something like that.
Oh, sick! Is that going to be a Minesweeper skin then?
Basically, well, it came up anyway. It said it was an advertisement basically for games, and underneath it said also available on Xbox and PC, and it was like, hold on, that's a Sony first party. Why would it be going to Xbox and PC?
Yeah, that's bullshit then.
And
clearly.
basically what it was that overlay was for all the games within that advertisement. And it was a slideshow, and there was other games in there that were on PC and stuff like that. But everyone for a hot second was like, PlayStation is done for, guys. No reason to buy a PS5, guys.
PlayStation's dead.
PlayStation's dead. They're selling all their games on PC. And it turns out it was... Immediately they were like, "Nah, that's bait, guys. That's bait. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to that right there.
That's bait."
By the boys.
Yeah, and apparently Ghost of Tsushima recently hit 5 million copies sold of the game, which is quite
that's
nice
pretty good for
first year as well. That's decent number.
For a first year single console exclusive. Yeah, it's not bad. And
first of its installment, so people are obviously wary of a new game they don't know, obviously, and whatnot. And all that. We'll see how that goes. Do you mind if I move on to our next topic, lads?
Yeah, let's do it.
So our next topic is from our good old savior of gaming, Phil Spencer. In a recent interview, because sorry, the guy needs to stop talking. Genuinely, his job seems to be he goes out and talks to people.
He doesn't believe in exclusivity or something.
He doesn't believe in exclusivity. However, now he's talking about exclusivity. So you know how Xbox is pro-consumer and everyone else isn't, right?
Apparently.
Yes. Apparently, that's the way that Phil Spencer puts it.
If they made good games, with their studios, I'd agree, but
Exactly
don't.
right. They're only saying all this because they have no games. That's why they.
Hey,
want that.
12 minutes is coming out sometime.
Sometime, I think so, maybe. They were basically speaking in an interview with IGN, and everyone's obviously trying to prod at them to try and find out what the terms of the deal is with Bethesda, whether or not those Bethesda games are going to be exclusive, what's going to be happening, and everyone's having their fair share of, so what's going on? Well, what's going to happen? Tell us the truth. Tell us the truth. And in his interview, he didn't say anything else really about it, but he did say this one quote, that Bethesda games will either be first or better or best on Xbox rather than other consoles. So in a world where he's talking about being pro-consumer and how it's all about the gamers and gaming and stuff like that, he's talking about either withholding for a limited amount of time games from those gamers, or giving an inferior version of those games to other gamers who are not on their service. As we said, Xbox are pro-consumer and they care about all the gamers. This is a weird contradiction to that. How do you feel about that statement right there?
Well, let's get one thing ironed out. Really, now this is my biggest takeaway from this. You know how Xbox, Microsoft, they acquired Bethesda, but ZeniMax. They acquired, was it ZeniMax? And then they acquired Bethesda through that, and Bethesda Game Studios by extension.
Yes.
That's a lot of money to throw at a company that makes shit games.
Yeah, when they came out, I was like, that's a bad deal. That's a lot of money for a shit company.
They used to make games that people loved. Didn't make them incredible. People loved them because they can mod them, and now that's sort of ironing out as they do other things. And naturally, people will still want to mod them, but they'll never be able to have that same community again. Mm-hmm. And also, they love to re-release Skyrim rather than make Fallout 76 actually fucking playable. And so, why would you ever spend billions on the company that was responsible for Fallout 76?
Mate.
Because that is not a good benchmark for quality.
That's a good question, right? Who's the guy that goes, oh shit, those guys?
I love Fallout 76, man. Look at those. Imagine being pro-consumer and then buying the company that made a game that is so insultingly anti-consumer.
Yep. And then there was the collector's edition thing at launch. That was the collector's edition drama where they were selling. Where it was like a nylon bag in the position of a canvas bag for the
canvas bag,
and they were like,
it was then the guy was like I don't know what it was, like some.
They duped them at the beginning. That it was like, oh yeah, you're getting a good quality thing, and then it turns out it wasn't.
And then it turned into like some cheap polymer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so you look at it, and then they call customer service up and like, what's going on with this? Well, promised canvas bags. It's like, sorry, yeah, it proved too expensive to make. We're not planning to do anything about it.
But we're going to charge you for it. Don't worry about it, guys. And then
fucking con. That's a con.
And then
that's
Adina brings out a good point as well. They then brought out, when the game wasn't working and it wasn't doing as well and there was a lack of content, they decided we're going to put more content in, but we're going to make it for a price. And they made that subscription, the Fallout First.
Fallout First, that was another thing.
What a blunder. What a fucking tone-deaf thing to do.
And then there were microtransactions for fucking skins
right?
of power armor.
Sheps, what was that big microtransaction? Was it a door they were selling for like $3?
Oh God, yeah, it was a lot, right? And they were like, just 60,000 in-game dollars or whatever, and you're like, wait.
And then you work it out, and it's like $5 for a door.
Yeah, get fricked.
For a door.
Yeah, it was like a door for your, like, you know, they have the base building system they've got going on. Yeah, how much? Get that door and stick it in Fallout 76, mate.
This door here. I could sell this in a game and get mad dough. Look at this thing.
Yeah, look at it.
Go Fallout and get loads. I'm actually trying to shut it because the dog's going crazy.
Get Dennis in here. That's what we want, really.
He doesn't come upstairs because if he does, he'd just come in here, steal my bin, and leave. With everything in it, there'd be a trail of rubbish going. I need to clear it out. But you know how it goes. No, but fucking hell, you know. Imagine claiming to be pro-consumer and then buying out the company that is so anti-consumer that it's insulting.
Yeah.
And going, look at what we've done. We're gonna make some great pro-consumer games. I fucking bet. No.
This
Yeah.
is the problem because Microsoft don't have any games right now for people to play. They've only got their backwards compatibility service system that they've got in place, which is very good. Don't get me wrong, very good backwards compatibility right there, and they're leveraging everything on that. They're making all of these huge words and statements and claims about how exclusive games are anti-consumer and making games for one generation is anti-consumer, and the way that charging $70 for a game, even though game prices haven't changed for 13 years or so, something like that, is anti-consumer, and developers not getting enough money to make the vision that they want to make or being appropriately compensated for their games is anti-consumer. All because that's what people want to hear, because the average consumer, the average gamer, just wants to get the best thing for the cheapest price and play their games in peace, and they don't care about any politics on the side. Whereas everyone else is making games in a realistic way and trying to make it fair for everybody. And now they've got this statement here where they're saying games could be coming out before or better than other consoles, which is inherently anti-consumer, going against everything they've bloody said. And I really hate it how Phil Spencer's not getting the flack that he's rightfully deserving, in my opinion, with these statements. It's really, really shitty, and I just want to highlight these things every time I can.
It just feels like they say we're doing this because it's pro-consumer, and then tack on to the end of that any bullshit statement they want and just say it's pro-consumer or do something that's like, you get more by doing it this way. Yeah, but more shit isn't good. It's just more shit. There's actually a whole bunch of careers designed around getting extra shit away. Like if you go into your toilet, take a dump, flush, and extra shit comes back out the toilet, that's not good.
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
No, exactly.
And you wouldn't say that's pro-consumer or pro-homeowner. Right. And I feel like a lot of places are forgetting, and I feel like CDPR fell into this, making Cyberpunk run on all these different consoles and needing all this stuff. Like, that isn't pro-consumer. Pro-consumer is making an incredible game, and yes, some people get left behind. Like, but you make the best game that you can make, and when people finally get around to playing it, like, look, if it comes around December 10th and it comes out, or whatever date it's out, I'm not playing it on my PS4. I'm not buying it.
I feel like the biggest issue with what we're talking about isn't necessarily with stuff being not pro-consumer. You can. It's about Phil Spencer claiming that Xbox is pro-consumer when it's clearly buying into anti-consumerism, which is, which is. I guess you could describe that as not pro-consumer to the point where it's actually insulting that it's being sold as such.
Yeah.
So Fallout 76 or the stupid microtransactions, you get the point. And I mean, I don't know anything else that's going on with Microsoft. Maybe this could be an isolated example based on something that Bethesda did before they've even been acquired. Maybe going forward there will be a change. Maybe they'll prove that they are, but that's not a good step forward.
It's not a good step forward.
You've bought out, and now you are responsible for a company that has basically been sued out of its fucking ass.
Yeah.
For not being pro-consumer enough.
It's a weird thing to associate yourself with as well, especially when you're trying
it's
to
not
go for
something
that
I'd
message.
ever want to associate myself with. Bethesda, ZeniMax, anyone who had any hand in Fallout 76, I look at that and cry. But then again, I guess I look at the same way and look at
Odyssey.
Odyssey. You know what I mean? And I go, yeah, no, maybe from where I'm sitting, I can get away with just chatting drivel about the shit and talking positive about the positive. But when you take ownership of that company, oh god, that's not a good move. It might seem like it might be in the long term, but in the short term, it is not helping any arguments.
No. Batfan actually summarizes my point much better than I did in the way I said it there, so I'll read it out and totally take the credit for it. He says, hey, we are going to be pro-consumer. Yes, our games will be on PlayStation as well, but will be superior on Xbox. Pretty hypocritical. There you go.
Yeah, no, then there's that. Like, yep, we're pro-consumer. Oh, but yeah, if you want the best experience, buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
If you have a PlayStation, it'll be right, but we'll be better on Xbox.
We'll
That's
make it worse.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if I'd call it a little bit of hypocrisy. Yes.
Yeah.
But actually, I just look at that as just a direct marketing ploy. So it's indirect. You're talking to anyone, but you just go and buy an Xbox. It's planting the seed of buy an Xbox.
Yeah, and I'll buy an Xbox Series S, and I bet it doesn't play as well as on a PS5.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, wait, but you assured me it would play better.
You said Xbox. I bought an Xbox, right?
I bought an Xbox, and all I've got is this fucking fridge.
I would be completely fine with everything that he says this way, had he not come out and directly tried to say that everyone else's practices in the gaming scene is anti-consumer in comparison to what they do. But then he makes such a song and dance about it, tried to make
they
everyone
were probably not wrong up until the compared to what we do.
That's what they did, because that's what they did. They were trying to make it seem like they were, and they were doing genuinely good things. But that was because they had no other option. And they were like, how are we going to get eyes on us and people on our side to love Xbox because we don't have the games to back it up, and our console is what it is. It has to go out there and whatnot. So they did this. But then afterwards, this comes out, and it's just like, it's proof that all of it was just nonsense. All of it was just crap. And there you go. Anyway, is that enough chatting shit about Phil Spencer and his hypocrisy? Do we want...
There is one final thing. They need to make Banjo-Kazooie. They have the studio. Why not do it? But instead, they're going to be pro-consumer and make nothing.
And make the Elder Scrolls 6 a timed Xbox exclusive that plays better on the PlayStation, even though they advertise it as doing the opposite. Actually, no. Bethesda Game Studios games don't run well on anything.
But they do on a Casio calculator. The way
they actually probably do.
Where Skyrim has been ported recently.
Has it actually? It took me a minute to realise you were joking. That's how bad.
That's how much porting they do.
That's how bad the porting with Skyrim has gotten. Yeah. I actually, for a moment there, thought that they'd ported it to a fucking Casio calculator, because I threw one of those away the other day, and I mean, come on.
I could have been playing Skyrim. Oh god, no.
Why did they release it on Alexa? Is that like, obviously it was a joke?
Oh man.
But why waste resources at all outside of April 1st, which it wasn't when they did this? Oh god. I just find Skyrim on everything to be... How long do you reckon it'll be before we see a Skyrim ported over to the PS5 and Xbox Series X/S?
I 100% guarantee it for you.
What are they going to call it? Skyrim Special Needs Edition. What is it this time?
I've made 2 claims, and I'm adding this to my 3rd claim.
Skyrim Fantastically Fucked Edition.
Things you can assure yourself of.
Again, edition.
Let me get these out. So the one thing you can say is you can take to the bank. Cyberpunk won't be delayed anymore. You can take that one to the bank. Justice League, the Snyder Cut, is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. It cannot be bad. Fact right there. And Skyrim will get ported to the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Fact.
It might take a year, but it will happen.
It will happen. It doesn't have to be a launch.
Be shit.
They will still put it on, and it will be awful, people will still buy
Skyrim. I love Skyrim, but I'm fucking tired of seeing it.
There you go. Would everyone like to move on to the final topic we have? Because we've been going on for a long
while.
The
Super Duper Remaster.
That's a good name for it. That's a good name, right?
Look at someone said it in the chat. Batfan257 Stevenson.
Batfan's full of gold.
Did your mum call you Batfan257 Stevenson?
They already had many Bat fans in the lineage, and they were like,
"Why are you the 257th sibling?"
Skyrim.
How many dads do you have? Is everything going on okay at home? In fact, how many mums do you have?
How many mums do you have?
I think you're only allowed one of those.
Yeah, but I know, but 257 kids, that's a hefty number for one lady.
I mean, you don't know how many of those were
like quadruplets.
What? Well, are they all called Batfan designated number?
Obviously.
Were you grown in a lab, Batfan257 Stevenson?
Shall I talk about our last topic?
Yes.
I'm still racking my brain of a fucking Batfan here. Give me a sec. No, go on, Eddie. Go on.
Sony, in a recent interview, have some words on a possible Game Pass equivalent service coming to PlayStation. So, in an interview with a Russian media outlet called TASS. So obviously
I already trust this.
Already trust it. PlayStation's Jim Ryan, so fucking big name, was talking in an interview, and he was asking, does Sony have a response to Xbox's popular Game Pass subscription service? And he replied, there's actually news to come, but just not today. Interesting, right? What do you guys think about that?
That's a yes. There's
cryptic.
something.
Yeah, there's
See
no
you in-
way we could
See you in
possibly.
5 minutes.
See you in
Comes
5
back
minutes.
Comes back out with a roadmap the size of a house and goes, "Listen, PlayStation, right?" Everyone claps. No, they're gonna do. Of course, they're gonna do something.
Well,
They're gonna let Xbox get away with that? No, they've got to. Of course, they were gonna do something to be like, "No, we're still the best. Here's why." And then go, "Look, if they do it, and they do it great, but we do it fucking better." And that's what PlayStation's gonna do.
Can I just say PSN Plus collection?
That's
exactly.
true. PSN Plus collection is a very, very good thing that we've got now on the PS5.
It
But
already
maybe
slaps the shit out of Game Pass.
Maybe what they'll do is they'll just go, you know what? We're gonna absolutely slap you up even harder now, and be like, look at all these lovely games, new games straight in there. Every single game going straight fucking in there. Never buy a game again. Wank me off behind a dustbin.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If they can add any sort of first-party systems, first-party games into a subscription service, it will immediately slap the shit out of anything that Xbox has. It will dwarf in comparison to it because PlayStation simply has a superior first-party lineup. However, prior to this coming out, I would have said to you that I can't see a world in which PlayStation could make a service like that because their games are far too valuable. And
yeah,
I mean,
they already gave us. They gave us some for free.
They did give us some for free.
Because look, you need PS Plus to play online.
Yes.
If you're getting a PS5, you're getting it to play games, right? Yeah. Especially now, where the price of DVD players, Blu-ray players, and all that stuff, or even a previous gen, PS3 or PS4, are so low that the only reason now to get it is for gaming.
Yeah.
Where prior, like the PS3's big selling point was it was the cheapest and best Blu-ray player out there. It's one of the reasons that it. Huh?
As far as Blu-ray players went, it probably was.
It was. Yeah. It literally was, and Sony did that on purpose, right? But that was one of its. That's what kept it afloat until games like The Last of Us could prove it out.
Yeah.
And so if you're getting a PS5, you're getting it for gaming, and therefore you're getting PS Plus, and included in PS Plus, you're getting, forget everything else, God of War.
Yeah.
God of War alone. I mean, I don't know about you, Ethan, but me and Ed consider it to be one of, if not the greatest games ever made.
Yep.
It's definitely up there.
Yeah, like it should be. It's probably in most people's top 5, and you're gonna have to really be like, if all you play is RTS games or JRPGs, fine, it won't be in there for you. But if you play anything else, it's probably gonna be in there.
We did just.
If you're into AAA gaming, then you're gonna have at least considered getting a PS5 at some point,
right?
By this time next year, you'd either have got one, or you'd have considered it. Or you'd have considered it in the future.
Exactly. And God of War 4 slaps everything that's on Game Pass.
Yeah. There's nothing that comes close to it, no.
Nothing, not one that comes close to it. And I think, Ed, you said something, which is something like the games that are on Game Pass are games that you would look at and go, I mean, yeah, maybe I'll play it, but I'm not going to buy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you get it for $8.99 a month, you're like, yeah, I'll give this a shot at that price point.
Yeah, because it's already there, right? You just
exactly, but it's not Detroit Become Human, Days Gone, God of War. Like it's not a AAA title.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So already PS Plus, which is something that we needed to get anyway, is just shitting on Game Pass. I think
it really is. It really is.
So
so the potential that so this is included in PS Plus. The only after seeing this little remark, this cryptic remark right here that he mentions, I thought, okay, how could they possibly do it? Because prior to it, as I said, I couldn't see them doing a service because their IP is just too valuable, and it's proven that people would pay the full price to get these games anyway. And to go to a monthly service, you're only going to lose money, like the way Microsoft are losing money now. On
pro-consumerism, though, isn't it?
It is pro-consumer, which is, that's what they are. But if they could do it, I mean, it looks like they're trying to at least approach the matter in some sort of way. And Sheps, you came up with it for the Xbox service, and I think this is the way that they would do it. They'd probably do the tiered system where they go, when you're on PS Plus, you get all these free games, like we've seen already, the God of War, the games that they're not brand new, but they're great games from Sony first parties that people love. If you want to go for the version of PS Plus that gets you the latest and greatest great game, there's a higher tier version of PS Plus. Maybe it's double the cost, whatever it might be for the year. And it goes, there you go. You get subscription service where you get the next God of War that comes up, Horizon Forbidden West, the next Ghost of Tsushima game, whatever that's going to be called, X, Y, and Z. All of those games, day one, on PlayStation Plus, whatever it's going to be, Gold Edition. I think that might be the way that they do it. How do you think that might be something?
Ethan?
I reckon
Thoughts?
it won't. I reckon it won't even be double the price. I
Do you
reckon it'll
reckon?
be. I'm frozen on here by the looks of
You
it.
just
I am.
froze now. Just froze now.
Right
yeah.
to the bug snacks.
So the bug
Da-da-da-da-da.
snacks.
If it works now. There
There
we
you
go. Yeah, no, I think it won't even be double the price, but I reckon that's what they'll do. They'll have a higher tier subscription service in place, which you'll be able to you'll select that tier, then you'll get the newest, latest, and greatest games, and then you know what that'll be that. Or alternatively, what they could do, and this is so pro-consumer that I doubt anyone would ever do it, is they could go, we're upgrading this PS Plus business. Now you get some of the latest games as well, and everything's pretty much Game Pass. And because so many people have that already, they'll be like, oh, now I don't need to get an Xbox ever. Or,
That would be the death blow. That would be the death blow.
That would be an
Xbox.
absolute killer.
Yeah.
It would be the end of days.
I think
for
they
the
would.
Xbox.
I think they would lose a lot of money by doing it that way. But if they could,
They'd
somehow
lose
manage
money,
it-
but they'd gain clientele and they'd gain consumers, and they'd also long term. Oh look, PlayStation 6 time, fucking many bucks.
You know
Yeah.
what? Sheps, I said that like the current model for Game Pass is bad, and it's bad for gaming in general because the losing of money can be done by Microsoft because they've got the money to do it. But in the end, it's not gonna. It reduces the values of games. It devalues everything in the long run. And if they don't get the number of subscribers they need to make it profitable, then it fucks everybody over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
PlayStation have the numbers already. So if they were to do that system, they would eventually they would be going straight into the black rather than staying in the red, and then it would make it worth it. So maybe that is possible, that's a possibility there.
and Microsoft would be crying for weeks.
Oh, there would be no consoling them. There would be no consoling
There'll be
them
no
after that.
there'll be no pleasure in it.
It'd be
but
worse
so-
than Sheps
but
after not getting
it
a
would
PS5.
be the
It's
most
just worse.
brutal thing that Sony could do, and they very much so could do it.
I mean,
It would
don't
be-
forget that Xbox
brutal.
has 30 million users, right? Or consoles out there.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are diehards, right? The Xbox bots, just like the Sony ponies, are Xbox only, or Xbox first. And
They bought an
I
Xbox
cannot
Series
imagine
X
somebody
with
being
no
Sony
games. That's what they must have. They're that dedicated. They bought this console having no games to play on it.
But
yeah, do we have any word on the numbers for the Xbox?
as well.
They sold. I think I did see a number where they didn't come out with a number specifically, or maybe it was 1.4 million or something like that. They said they've sold more than the. Oh yeah, sorry, it was 1.4 million. They've sold 1.4 million Xbox consoles in its launch week or whatever, which was 40% more than the Xbox One was back in when that launched and whatnot. So it's.
And is that Series X or Series S?
They said Xbox console, so it's all in general, right?
Have a look, see
Okay.
what we
But
can-
also, that's not a very good number when you think that the launch of the Xbox One was the worst launch of any console ever.
Yeah.
We had the DRM issues. We had the Don Matrick go buy an Xbox 360. We had
Yeah.
all of these TV. It's not about gaming. So comparing it to that is not really a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Batfan says PS5 true gamer subscription. Damn, you see, we'd be in a legal battle, but I'd like that branding on that subscription service, please. Thank you very much. But that's what's going on there. We don't know when we're going to get the PlayStation numbers. I'm guessing about a week from when the European launch was, so they can get all their numbers together.
Yeah.
But
we'll see what happens with that one. That one could be quite fascinating.
I think it's not going to be that impressive, but I only think
Maybe.
I think it's not going to be that impressive because purely the number of consoles were low. There's
Yeah,
tons
that-
of people out there who want to buy one, but just can't get one. That's going to be
Yeah.
the limiting factor.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that was the limiting factor with, say, Xbox as well.
I think 1 second after launch, I did go on Argos to see whether or not they were available, and there was consoles available at
You
Argos.
can pre-order them, but they'll sell out pretty quick.
I saw it in stock, but I'll check it now just for
I'll have
just
a look
to see.
now.
Yeah, have a look now, so I'm not chatting shit or anything over here.
Argos Xbox Series X. Have a look. Xbox Series X consoles, Argos out of stock.
What about the Series S? Is that available
Well, the
still?
Series S was probably never in stock.
Probably.
Out of stock.
Yep, out of stock as well. Okay, so now it is out of stock. Whatever I saw then is outdated information. There we
To
go.
be fair, if I get the opportunity, I might snag a Series S. Why? So I can piss on it. No, so I can. no, because I've Fable. That's my only Fable.
But that's not
my
coming
only
out for
reason.
like 4 years, so you
Yeah,
got some
exactly.
time on that.
Fable. Get it in early. Have it sit there. Maybe it'll collect the dust in the room.
Yeah, Sheps is all about Fable. He's looking forward to that.
Are you, Sheps?
Yeah, I am actually a really big Fable guy, but I not
Love
enough to shift me onto the console. You know, it's just not
Well-
enough of a seller. It just isn't.
Well, I can't imagine it being much of a seller, but come on, Fable.
Oh man.
I am a big Fable fan, and I've been trying to convince Ed to play things like, well, maybe not exactly Fable, but also Mass Effect, because I used to play.
Eddie, play fucking Mass Effect, you dick.
Yeah, you must. You've got to.
The
But
remaster's
my-
coming out. I might do it then. That's
The
what-
reason I bring
No,
it up is I played
no,
those
Mike,
games on my
do.
360. So
Yeah.
Don't even dance around might just to do.
yeah, you
All
should.
right.
They're
The thing is,
freaking great.
You guys are so great, you know. You guys give me these huge projects to do. Like I have just this shit amount of time where you're like,
You do.
fuck it, go play an entire franchise, Eddie. Go play the Master Chief collection. Go play
Mate.
this collection. Go play that collection.
I'm
fuck
gonna
it.
Google it.
It's like it's probably not that long, right? But it's a
Oh, it is,
task.
but it's
It
still
is.
Okay, it's still a task. I have a newborn baby, motherfucker.
So Mass
Would you
Effect
like
1
to,
is 18 hours, 2 is like 30 to 40 hours, and 3 is 30 hours. So it's one Red Dead game.
Oh, there you go. One Red Dead. There you go.
Yeah.
We need to somehow get to get what's her name, Isla, to convince Eddie to play the Mass Effect trilogy.
Do you know
Well,
what?
yeah.
If I start all of the trilogies you guys have set me on, I might make it to the time where she can understand what gaming is, and then she can convince me
Mate.
of other things to play.
It's only 2 trilogies. You got to play Mass Effect and Halo. That's it.
Oh god.
Yeah, no.
Play
Come on,
Andromeda,
get-
the best one, says Adina.
You have time to sit down for the best part of 3 hours and talk with Fishy.
Oh,
You have the
Exactly.
you have the time to play Mass Effect.
Listen,
True.
all right, fine. I'll cut out the
What?
time of talking to you fuckers, and then I'll play games. All right, there we go.
Perfect.
not
This is amazing. He gets to play good games, and we don't have to speak to him. It's a win-win.
I fell into a
if-
trap there.
If your parenting duties ever get in the way, learn to juggle. Controller, child.
Do you know what?
Exactly.
She's actually, I sometimes have her in my lap here while I play, and she does, obviously she's a kid and they like lights and stuff like that. But I play on my Nintendo Switch, I play Pokemon in front of her to get her into Pokemon and stuff like that. And then obviously I'm playing on here, she sees me play and she enjoys it. She's a beautiful, just calm baby. She just sits with me,
Yeah.
watches what I do, every
She's
now and
super-
Fire
again
up
looks up.
GTA once every fortnight, punch a few people.
Yeah,
run a few
exactly.
people over.
Exactly.
She absolutely loves it. She's like, Dad, go on, punch that prostitute over there, and you're like,
Punch
okay,
that prostitute. All right.
yep, fucking in it.
Speaking of great trilogies, there was one
I'm gonna say,
rumor.
speaking of punching prostitutes, there, and I was wondering where that was.
Speaking of punching prostitutes, there was one rumor that popped up, and Ethan, you might like this. I don't know if you've seen it. A listing on Amazon popped up for a Red Dead Redemption
Oh, yeah.
remastered.
Apparently.
Yeah, it's very loose right now,
I-
and
I
when
don't-
something's on
I don't
Amazon,
think
it's not
it is
always
at all.
real.
I don't think Amazon's leaked anything here at all because I looked into it. I saw the image that was circulating where it came from.
Yeah.
Reddit, great.
Yes.
Already suspicious. So I looked at it. It's from Google. Now
Yeah,
it looked
Google
like
of Reddit.
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
click on that link, you could find it at the time about a day ago. You typed in Red Dead Redemption Remastered, it would come up with that, and it would come up with a release date and a price point. 10th of December, this. I looked into it, the exact release date and price of Cyberpunk 2077, $49.94, or for some reason on Amazon. So I looked at that and went, that's a bit weird. So that information isn't correct based on that. Maybe it has listed somewhere, but by title, but even then, Amazon is not known for being reliable with this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I looked into that, followed the link through, and it was to a search result page. To an Amazon.com, like an ask page where you type in something and it finds the information that best suits that search. No sign of a Red Dead Redemption Remastered on there. I think maybe a few days ago there was something, but listings like that can happen by mistake all the time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have access as sellers to Amazon.
Yeah. And they could just
put
post
stuff on Amazon. So anyone that could have come from anywhere.
Yeah.
That may not have come from Rockstar. It may not have come from Take-Two Interactive. That could have come from literally fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
And so
Take
trusting Amazon with that stuff is very complicated. I would love a Red Dead Redemption Remastered. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very convinced that they won't do it. The only reason Red Dead Redemption never came to PC is because the game's code was so fucked. It was a miracle they got it to work on console.
I said, when you say was, it is fucked. Right?
Oh, it is fucked because it's the same code.
Yeah.
But no, they'd have to rebuild the game from the ground up to do they'd have to remake it. They couldn't do a remaster.
And the thing is, Take-Two is making too much money off of GTA Online. They're not going to do it.
And well, I mean, they could do. They did LA Noire. But how many remasters do you think they're going to have Rockstar? Have from Rockstar Games when they can sell GTA, Red Dead Online? They don't have to go back anymore.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe Rockstar's having a bit of in-house policy changing with what they're doing, with how they're approaching making games and stuff like that. Yeah, the departure of one of the Hauser brothers, was it?
Yeah.
All sorts going on there. But it will be years and years before we see any of that actually translate.
Yeah.
I'd love for a remake of Red Dead Redemption because I don't think a remaster is actually viable for a game with code so fucked.
Yeah.
If you can have an NPC of a woman turn into a donkey in the game, imagine how unstable it is. The reason why it's so fucked is because when it comes to coding, people tend to reference what it is that they've done.
Yeah.
They tend to have a log somewhere that explains what this means and why.
Yeah.
With Red Dead Redemption, I don't think anyone actually did that. So people come along and they have no clue what the fuck they actually did. So they look at the code and it actually means nothing.
Yeah.
They can't rewrite it because they don't know what any of it means.
Yeah.
Because there's no reference.
It's completely foreign.
It's either not been listed or more likely they've lost it somewhere.
It was pretty thin when I saw this anyway, but I was like, maybe. I mean, everyone loved Red Dead Redemption 2. You frozen again, by the way. Everyone loved Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe that's after all of that hype, they could sell some more. But my mind immediately went to it's Take-Two. They're making shit tons of money off of GTA Online. They don't even want to make a GTA DLC, which would sell bang bucks and whatnot. Everyone would make money. But it's effort versus the effortless GTA Online that they've got right now, this cash cow that's just giving them tons of money.
I don't think it's a plausible approach for Red Dead Redemption to be remastered because from what I've heard, and there's been a few people who've said this recently, and I did a bit of research into it when people said it, and I was like, wow, it is a miracle they got that game working at all. It really is a miracle that they got that game working in any capacity. They could never get it to PC. I think they wanted to, but they couldn't. They could never get it to, they can never port it to really next gen. Obviously, they can make it compatible somehow. I don't know how, but it's still fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What I'm trying to say is basically how they got it working is a madness. One I don't understand who is. Oh, yeah, plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It just doesn't strike me as something that is plausible. But yeah, no, I did see that, and I went, okay. Well, there's not really. I don't think it's really plausible that they're going to do a Red Dead remaster this soon. I'd love a remake at some point. They've built the infrastructure with it for it in some capacity with the empty area that is Armadillo and stuff like that. With the capacity of say, New Austin, and obviously they could rebuild Mexico pretty easy, I'd imagine. and they did to a degree. There's a little bit of world space there past that where you can see structures and things. And so obviously, maybe they thought maybe we could remake it with this newer engine in mind, and that would be cool. Like this newer version of the engine, we could do this. We could finally remake Red Dead Redemption rather than remaster it.
Yeah.
Because we've basically done all the hard work. We can get all we need and do it. And so they could do it in that way if they wanted to, I guess. Will they? I don't know. It doesn't strike me as a very Rockstar thing to do.
No, neither does it for me.
It doesn't strike me as a very Take-Two thing to do. They're not exactly in the business of fan pleasing.
Yeah, very much no. They're all about making their product, making their money, and making their
They love to make the product the way that they like to make the product. But when it comes to the fans, I don't think that Take-Two nor Rockstar really have the mindset of the fan knows what they want.
No.
I think they have the mindset more so of we'll make the game we want to make. Yeah, we know what we're passionate about. This is what we're doing. And Take-Two's like, ooh, we know what we're passionate about, making money, do this. And they're like, okay, well, you do sort of own us.
Yeah.
So just to save being violated by you, of course, we will do this. and so Take-Two really, I think, are in control of whether or not they do that. I think they put down the infrastructure with 2 to be like, yeah, you know what, we could. It's always possible. It's on the cards at some point, maybe. But I don't think it'll be a remaster because of how fucked apparently Red Dead Redemption was. I think it'll be a remake at least in the engine of 2 visually and all the rest of it.
That's how I think it should be as well. It's as bad as you. I think remakes, especially of a game that's that old, it should be a remake rather than a remaster.
Well, I mean, 10 years isn't actually that long anymore.
For me,
for a
if
remake,
it goes past the generation, I feel like it is too.
For a remake, it's not long. For a remaster, yeah, that's quite long. For a bestseller, you know what, they should have remastered it sooner. But I reckon their best bet would be to remake it because it just otherwise they'd spend far too long unfucking something that they can't unfuck.
Yeah.
Based on what I've heard, and that's something fascinating.
Can I say two things? This parkour system is better than any AC game I've ever played.
Yeah, exactly.
In Bugsnax.
True facts.
And
Bugsnax parkour.
I'm really jealous of your ability to play so perfectly, so greatly, and whatnot, and put together a perfectly coherent sentence.
I've just been running around in circles, not aiming to do anything.
Well, you're paying attention to jumping on those things and not touching the floor, like, and whatnot. I'm looking at it and I'm like, shit, he's actually making like good points and a nice argument while playing this game. I can't do that properly.
I can't do it. I can't do that. So I don't know what I've done. Now that you've mentioned it, I can't do it again.
Oh god, it's all gone. Yeah, that's something right there. Anyway, that's all the topics that I had today. Was there anything anyone else wanted to bring up right here?
No, not really. I think that's the full shebang.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Just
an
update, because I did the poll ended, the one that I mentioned about the next gen systems and how everyone's enjoying it and stuff like that. Out of 200 results, 64% of people said this tweet hurts me, as in they haven't got a console. So that just shows you how little of the people like have a PS5 or whatever. So
it's not many.
That's going to be a limiting factor right there. All right, guys. Thank you everybody for joining us for this True Game Podcast live edition right here, and thank you, Sheps, my great co-host. Obviously, love you. Ethan, whatever, you know, if a shit about you, mate. I swear to God.
Yeah, no, I don't give a shit about me either.
We've given you the exposure now.
Do not forget December 4th to 7th. Yes. We are gonna cure cancer. That's the aim of the game.
We get a link in the chat, or is there?
Sorry.
We get a link in the chat for that.
We'll get a link in the chat. Let's get that up there.
Ed, you do that. So,
no problem, I'll get that.
Gamers Against Cancer. We are raising money to defeat breast cancer from the 4th to the 7th.
Punch breast cancer in the mouth and tell it it's a dickhead.
Yes.
Exactly. And all of us, that is the Conversations boys, me and Ed, and the Four Pillars, Ethan, Fishy, Gerg, and Tyler, are going to be streaming and putting out content. And
You said Ethan, Fishy, Gerg, and Tyler. Where's James?
Fuck James.
Fuck James.
Fuck James. He's a dickhead. He smells.
Yeah, he does.
No worse than I do right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And James, I suppose. Fuck it. Honorable mention. We'll be putting out content, live streaming, all that stuff, to keep you entertained, and hopefully, if you guys feel the desire take you, in as a trade for all this incredible content and stuff, and for a good cause, you can help us defeat breast cancer. Frick breast cancer.
Yeah, exactly. But we've raised over £1,000 so far. The goal is 15,000. We can absolutely smash that.
Yeah.
You know, we can smash it. We just have to get together and game harder than we've ever gamed before. So yeah, if you can't donate, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to help us out, tweet out, share the link with all your friends, use the hashtag Gamers Against Cancer, and we can smash it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be a good time. We can do some pure bits, and it'll be truly magical. And I can't wait to get started, man. I can't wait to see this community just absolutely thrash cancer and tear it a new one, basically.
Yeah. Ethan,
it's gonna be sick.
Can I ask for a favor though?
Can I get my PS5 back?
Can we do that? That's the first favor. And also, can we delay this event by a week? I was gonna play Cyberpunk 2077, and it was good. We was doing it. It was November 19th was gonna be far away from it, and we thought 4th to the 7th. Great, that's gonna be perfect. And then they moved the release date to the 10th, and now it's after.
Just to be clear,
come on,
Ed. Just to be clear, you're asking if Cancer can hold on a week.
Yeah, please, Cancer. If you could just hold on just a week, that'll be great.
Wait for a week. No, in that week. In that week alone, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who could do with a little bit of the old cancer research dosh to help save their lives.
Exactly.
So we've got to do it irrespective of when Cyberpunk launches. Unfortunately, CD Projekt Red, you've not come through for the boys this time. I'm really disappointed.
CD Projekt Red officially for cancer. That's what we can say.
Yeah, pro cancer. Boys, tweet at CDPR and ask them why they support cancer.
This is not going to go well.
This is not going to go well. It's really not.
I'm going to get an email from CD Projekt Red PR being like, why do these people think that we like cancer?
Yeah.
And it's like, well...
It's a cease and desist letter from all of your content and podcasts.
It's like, you are now forbidden from showing anything Cyberpunk related, which would hit me the most because my fucking room is basically Cyberpunk. So
your chair, everything.
There's a lot of Cyberpunk about. You've got a cover behind you. Is that you on the cover in the background?
So that's the PlayStation game cover that we're talking about. I've put it that far away. See, the thing is,
it up.
I'm going to bring it close, but I have to cover most of it because we're keeping it a secret. And people, when they get them, then they get to see exactly what all the jokes are and stuff like that. But I'll bring it close and cover it. One sec.
Okay, I'm very curious now.
Yeah, we put in quite a good few Easter eggs. This is like the 7th iteration of it because we changed the wording or found something else we could change. And
look at that. That is incredible.
And it's got a back cover as well. It's that cool stuff.
It's the right size.
It's all over there, and it's got like a spine and everything.
Wow, you've really gone all out.
It's a legit game cover.
You went all out for a bogus game cover.
Hey, it's good stuff actually. It came up so organically though. That's the thing. It was Rob, one of the friends of our show, close friend of Sheps over here.
Yeah.
I made the avatar that you guys see on Twitter and whatnot, and he was like, "If there's a game cover with your face on it, you're gonna turn me off of the game completely." And obviously, I made a game cover and then showed it to him. And then everyone was like, I would buy that. I would want that for my game cover. And then we made it a Patreon thing. It was totally organic.
Yeah, if you can. No, now you've reminded me. It's time to make some Assassin's Creed Moss Side, and sell that to everybody for donating to Gamers Against Cancer thing.
Do it, man. Do it.
I don't want to hold to that, but I'll see if I'll have a look around, see if I can whip up any. If you send me all the information, see what I can whip up.
I was gonna say, I'll give you my contact and the template and whatnot, and you can work it all out.
And then see if I want to do that as a little bit of a laugh, and then give them away to people for no reason other than to put on an Assassin's Creed fucking cover. Not again.
You guys could totally do it because there's tons of memes in your community, in the Four Pillars community. You've got so much opportunity to do it. We've only just started and we've already created a ton of memes and we're making it happen.
Yeah.
The meme repertoire.
That
could be very, very, very crammed with nonsense.
Yeah. And it'll be, the thing is, ours is like that as well. Trust me, you look at it and there's all these references to things that only we know, but to any other person would look like, what the hell does that mean? And how does it relate to that? And then this thing over here makes no sense.
They're great. It's great.
But anyway, those
Yeah.
guys should be getting them soon. So you guys, the secret will be out soon.
Chris got his. I have asked.
Chris has
that,
got
like, the
his?
first- Yeah, he put it in the show and tell right now. I asked him
No
to
way.
put it up as a spoiler warning.
Yes.
So that people don't get spoiled for those that have them coming and stuff. But yeah, he put it up.
I didn't even notice I'm gonna go check that
Yeah.
out right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us for this True Gamer podcast, this live special episode of our PS5 impressions and all the games and stuff like that. You guys are. I just read the small print on it and it's fucking fast. Yep, Chris, we went really into all of it. There's even small print jokes in there. Thank you all for joining us. It's been an amazing episode. Thank you, Ethan, for joining us. And as
No
always,
worries. I'm gonna play some bug snacks.
there
As
we go.
what?
Sorry, like usual. My apologies. We don't say those.
Like as usual.
We don't say those other words. Those blasphemous words over there.
Exactly.
You mean the like sometimes?
Like sometimes, you know.
There you
and
go.
we will catch you guys all in the next one. Have a good
That's right.
gaming weekend. And yeah, we'll see you later.
We'll see you in the next one.
Shaking hand virtually, even though there's nobody here.
Virtual handshakes. Awkward pause while we're still live.
Shaking hands.